The mythologies of many worlds tell of a time when the gods walked the earth before for varying reasons they depart. Gaecia is not one of those worlds. They never departed. Coming into being at the beginning of the Second Age, the gods fought in a dark wars against the entities that came before them, driving them underground and claiming the surface world for themselves. They created the plants and animals of the world together, but each in isolation made their greatest works, the races of the world in their own image. The fledgling races looked up to their godly masters and worshipped them all equally, and the gods ruled them together. However, this way of living eventually proved unsustainable. The petty disagreements of the gods manifested in preferential treatment of their own creations and ignoring the ones of those they wished to spite. Centuries of squabbling and bickering eventually boiled over and turned into the Titan Wars. The gods fought each other, and the races of the world were dragged into the conflict. Generation upon generation fought one another, bleeding and dying at the behest of their gods, whose anger blinded them to the suffering of their children. It seemed like it would never end, that there'd be no resolution to their disputes, with each god too proud to ever admit fault. During the Battle of Scarlet's Peak, the unthinkable happened. Ulfgar, god of the dwarves, died. Caught off guard from a surprise shot by an elvish warrior, Ulfgar was dealt a mortal blow by Sailor and goddess of the elves. The result of this duel effectively ended the wars, the hatred of the gods tempered by their grief. They looked at the world around them, and saw the results of their combat and repented. They swore an oath to each other to not let such devastation occur again. And so as the Third Age began, they divided Gaecia into territories and took their own children there to rule them. And so it has been for 3 millennia, each race living in their own lands, ruled by those who are both king and god. While they abide mostly within the constraints they set upon themselves, tensions are arising anew, and people fear that a new war is on the horizon. The mythologies of many worlds tell of a time when the gods walked the earth before for varying reasons they depart. Gaecia is not one of those worlds. They never departed. Coming into being at the beginning of the Second Age, the gods fought in a dark war. Hello everybody and welcome back to It. Today we're presenting episode 11 of Gaecia, a homemade Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. I am Crazy Freight. I'll be your dungeon master for the evening. I made this world. I'll be your guide through it. I very much hope you enjoy your stay. With me tonight is Britty.
Hi, I'm Britty. I'm the token American. I'm wishing all of you guys, even if you don't celebrate it, a happy Thanksgiving because I'm American is what I do. And for everybody on the VOD, happy belated Thanksgiving.
Riley.
Hello, I'm Riley. I have no idea what that Thanksgiving stuff is.
Americans can only be thankful one day of the year.
I play Gareth Sebastian Leap on Knucklestamp. Okay. Cool. Yeah. And I'll be playing the Warlock today. Hi.
Matt.
Hello there, I'm Matt. I'll be playing Phoenix White, our Fire Ganassi Divination Wizard, and filling in for our resident Cleric Bard for the evening, as Nat unfortunately couldn't make it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nat is not here tonight, because life, I'm sure you understand. And last but not least, Lumie.
I timed that really badly and had a massive mouthful of yogurt. Hello, I'm Lumie. I am playing resident Bard because... No, wait, what? Begins in P.
Oh dear.
When did you change classes?
It's going to be one of them.
All gone so wrong.
The barbarian, Urashi Broketooth, known as Ash. She's big and scary, and I love her. There you go.
Yeah. Sorry for starting a little late today. That's just, again, life.
That's my mistake. I was my ride home from work was a bit later than I expected. I came home as fast as I could.
Yeah. But yes.
Hope you didn't break any speed limits.
No, I would never.
We don't have any announcements at the beginning of the stream, so we'll just hop right into the recap. Last time on Gaecia, our hitherto unnamed collection of adventurers. They're embarking on their kind of extended quest to gather various components for a amulet of non-detection for the Tabaxi child known as Hope, who has some weird stuff going on. Yes, so this quest took them into the Fautorn Woods, kind of around here-ish, where they were sent to seek out and collect some unicorn tears. In attempting this,
Not a euphemism.
yes, they came across a collection of these kind of half hyena, half human kind of hybrid things that were guarding this unicorn, and that was in a cage. And so they quite competently dispatched the creatures, and eventually they were to break the magic cage and get the unicorn out.
Big barrier.
This unicorn, it was revealed, was a guardian for a sacred grove known as the Grove of the. Sorry, he was in the Guardian Grove. He was guardian of a tree known as the King of the Bountiful Grove, which is basically a magic tree that was planted by Fahir to make this entire northwestern portion of the Fautorn Woods actually not, and so plants and stuff can actually grow on it. But unfortunately, a demonic presence had crept in, apparently headed up by a female figure who kind of has starry skin. That was a bit weird. And basically, she'd captured the unicorn and kind of infected this tree in an attempt to twist it around for his or their own malicious gains. And so they accompanied the unicorn to the grove, and where they're able to defeat one of the half demons known as tieflings, and a few demonically corrupted dryads. Now, seeing the devastation that had been wrought by the demons on this place, to his presumably the dryads he knew as friends, the unicorn got a bit upset, and the party was able to collect their unicorn tears. And that is where we ended last session. The unicorn, as you can see, is just stood over by one of the dryad corpses, and the party were just kind of gathering themselves at the end of the encounter. Question now is, what do?
If I'm remembering correctly, I was trying to talk to the tree, but I couldn't get in with the tree?
Yes, so you felt the King of the Bountiful Grove depicted in the middle. He doesn't have the demon face, don't be worried, he wasn't fully corrupted. You sense that this ancient, powerful force of nature wanted to communicate with you. However, you suspect, partially due to the fact that you are only half elven, the connection wasn't fully able to be established, and you got the presence that it might try again in the future.
I'm only somewhat cool, not cool enough.
Yes. Phoenix, I believe you were investigating one of the skeletons. The unicorn told you that they had sent for Thurbolg help when they first sensed the demonic presence in the area. However, it arrived too late, and you suspect that they were sacrificed for whatever this demonic corruption ritual was, and their skeletons have been intricately scrimshawed. There must be thousands upon thousands of individual kind of runes on each skeleton, and you were attempting to start what would be a week's, if not months, of work to try and copy as many of these as you can down.
I was just keeping my hands busy, just having a think while kind of doing it on autopilot.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Still not 100% caught up here, so Ash is just going to vibe.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Yareth was last time. popping through the portraits of this guy, but after he's done
Yeah.
that, it's just dust himself off, make sure everyone's okay. Wait for the unicorn to console themselves.
I mean, the one doesn't seem like it's going anywhere anytime soon.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, Althea had gotten the ears from the unicorn.
Yes.
That was the
They'd
last
already
thing we
been
did.
completed. Yes.
Well, we got what we came for. It feels a bit impolite, but should we just go?
That was my thought. I don't particularly want to go without saying anything to them.
I think, saying too much might be the wrong thing here. I don't want to overstay our welcome. Perhaps it's just best to leave in morning. Feels wrong.
Phoenix will roll his eyes, sigh, stand up, and just say, Philathi, you said before you didn't know if you could cleanse this clearing. That's still true?
Sorry, hang on. Did you just say the unicorn's name was Falafel?
No, the unicorn's name is Falaficafinaphis Equicantapas Eternicus. However, that was too much of a mouthful, sorry. So they shortened it to Falathi.
That's glorious.
The name could be reposted in chat.
I already know I'm voting the DM for inspiration just for saying that.
Right. As you call to him, he'll kind of his head will kind of rise up, and he turns to look at you, and he'll kind of slowly trot on over. Again, hang on, I'm trying to remember if he could speak to you or not, Phoenix.
We both share Elvish.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he will say to you, Phoenix, then in your head, telepathically in Elvish. I don't think I can alone. However, I know people who are probably going to be far more, not to disparage against you, but probably far more skilled at removing this corruption.
Which I think is fair.
Some elves, some furbolg, powerful druids.
So as far as we're concerned, and I'll say this in Elvish,
wow.
so as far as we're concerned, we're done here. Nothing more we can do.
You have my thanks. You may go, do you please, but you will always be welcome to travel through these lands as long as I am steward here.
Well, we have your thanks, but we also have your tears, which feels odd.
Yeah, maybe don't look the gift unicorn in the mouth here, and let's just go.
Oh no, not again!
Gareth will just tip his hat. And
Alex. That's okay, I won't do it again.
Alright, so we're leaving?
Yeah.
What we
Can
really
Ash
did?
try and pet the unicorn first?
Oh no.
Can she just be
You weren't
like,
there at the session, but you would probably be able to gather that it might not go down well.
oh, okay. Can I ask the unicorn if I'm allowed to touch it?
I don't think you share any languages with it.
Oh. Rip. Never mind then. I guess I just
No,
stare at
you
it,
don't.
confused.
No, you don't. So
You're telling me the
we'd have
unicorn
already
doesn't
established
speak
it.
orc? Don't be silly.
What can I say?
He doesn't know everything. God.
All right. So it's still early morning, so you start making decent progress on your way out of the Faltorn Woods. Is that the plan, to head to Kazmir, or you go north around the city? Like, what's the plan?
I mean, I believe the rest of them have to pick up their horses at the very least.
Yes, once we get back and get our horses, then
Approximately here, your horses are approximately here.
once we get our horses, I think we'll figure out what exactly to do. I know we had a plan.
Sure.
Well, I believe we left our horses in the city.
Yes, I
Oh
believe
yeah,
you
I
did
forgot I
leave
got a
in the
horse
city,
back.
yes. Yeah.
I now have horse 3, don't I? Yeah, instead of horse 2.
You got an upgrade.
Got a
DM.
whole another horse.
DM.
Yep.
Just as a thing, I don't know if everyone else can see it, but in my journal there is a monster stat block.
Yes.
don't think should be
You
able to
all
okay.
have something in your thing that's not for now. Just ignore it.
Okay.
It'll become
cool.
relevant later.
Just wanted to check.
It's just something I did in advance because doing it on the fly would be a pain and take a while.
Okay.
Don't concern yourself about it.
I'm not.
All right. So the trip out of the Hawthorne Woods takes 2 days. Kind of make it to the edge, and then it'll be another 2.5 to Casimir. Is there anything people like to do during this journey time?
Ash wants to hunt stuff.
Cool. Survival.
Just roll the night. Don't fuck it up.
Haha, you know me, I will. It's my branding at this point. Yeah.
And yeah, you're able to
Perhaps like a
hunt
skittle
enough
rabbit
to
or
feed
something.
yourselves. You might be able to make a small profit in a town or city. Wouldn't be very much.
Yes.
Maybe, let's say 1 gold whenever you next get to civilization.
Nice.
I assume on your first day of travel, you will use the box of transferal to send the unicorn tears to your contact.
Yes, I would also like to
His
include
name on the top of my head.
a second letter addressed both to Hope and to Abriel was our contact?
I believe we can only send one thing through the box at a time.
It's Guion is your contact, and you can only send 1 thing per day.
Ah!
So at score 1 thing, the boxes swap their contacts.
I'll send the letter tomorrow.
All right.
Fenix is pretty quiet on the journey back.
So
He's writing because Fleet doesn't remember that you can only send 1 thing through the box a day.
Sure. On the second morning, so the morning when you'll leave the Farton Woods, you will receive a purse inside of which is the 500 gold as agreed.
Well, that's easy enough to divvy out.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, it's a pretty rare component. Yes. But, I mean, you can send your letters as you finish the other 2 days' journey to Casimir.
Yes. The letter will describe what we did, what we found in the Faltarn Woods, and basically just, again, another check-in on Hope, like, hey, how's everything going? You feeling alright? We miss you. We'll hope to see you soon.
Yeah. So you kept Guion updated?
Yes.
Pretty
Fleet
accurately?
does say we, because Fleet is speaking for the entire group here, including Yareth. Everyone misses the child. Everyone.
Alright. So, are you leaving anything out, or are you telling literally the entire story?
I mean, Fleet doesn't think anything is important enough to leave out, and I can't think of anything either.
Okay. Is there anything you play up, play down? Or is it honest to goodness truth?
It's Fleet bloody. I think everything is honest to goodness.
Well, you know.
I mean, Fleet probably plays up a bit on...
She's not incapable of exaggeration.
Oh yeah, she
Like-
definitely exaggerates like how cool everyone is and how much like
Sure.
awesome stuff they did, but
Excuse
Urashi
me,
was, like,
I
20
don't think you
foot
can
tall.
exaggerate how cool we are. Just saying.
With that being said, do you mention Yareth being able to speak in people's heads?
no.
You mentioned the fact you met the gods.
Well, right now we're
And
just talking
that.
about the trip to the Faltorn Woods.
I mean, yeah, if that's just a bit recovering.
Yeah. I will leave out the shit going into the belt buckle, which I don't think Fleet even saw. I think that was just
That's not what I was. That's not what I was referring to. Just none of you saw that. I'm just
Yeah.
referring to Gareth being able to speak to people's heads.
Yeah, he discovered his telepathy.
Well, I mean, the unicorn can speak in people's heads, so probably mention that Gareth can do it too.
Please,
Sure.
Gareth, if people are able to see the letters before you send them, Gareth would just go, "Can you not include that?"
Include what? Oh, that? Why?
Gareth will just say into Fleet's head, "This."
Still getting used to that, but why not? It's kind of cool.
Because it's the sort of magic that some people don't like, and it might make me not liked more than I'm already not.
Well, I can't speak for everyone else, but I like you a whole lot. As much as you try
Thank
not to
you.
be, you're a pretty good person.
Thank you.
You try not to be, but that's not the point. I think that sentiment usually goes the other way round, Fleet.
Maybe, but...
Just for now, if you could not, I'd appreciate it.
I liked something like this.
That's fine, I can do that. And Fleet will just take her ink quill and just scratch that bit out.
Thank you.
Sure.
I like the colour, that's all.
Althea would kind of chime in. I just make sure that Hope knows that I send my love. But, see if there's anything else that Abriel wants from me.
Yeah.
I'm sending her all of our love. And I'll see if they need anything else. I hope they don't. We're already out getting a lot.
Alright. So, one morning you send a letter to Quion, and the morning after you will receive a general thanks for the letter. No, just keep doing what you're doing. Hope is safe. Everything's fine. And then the next morning, the morning before you arrive in Casimir, you'll receive a note from Hope, in inverted commas. It's not in the same hand as a letter from Gwion. It appears to be someone else. It's basically Hope saying, "Oh, I hope you're right. I heard you're doing really cool stuff." You imagine it's a priest transcribing. However, in possibly some of the worst handwriting you've ever seen is the name Hope, presumably written by someone who has no idea what a letter is.
Oh, it's so precious.
You imagine they're attempting at least some measure of education.
Oh, it's so cute. Fleet will tear off the bit that has her name on it and just stick that inside of her robes. She's keeping that.
Sure. All right.
Ooh, almost like a purple one.
You will arrive in Casimir. Is there anything people would like to do in
I'm
Casimir?
just looking for ideas. That's cute.
I assume that you'll be staying with Arthea's mother again, so you don't need to pay for accommodation.
If she's willing to have us.
Yeah, she'll
Oh
let
yeah,
us.
you'll be more than willing because you've got Arthea with you. Yes. Is there anything people would like to
Or
do
have we?
while you're here?
Do I want to confront Althea's mom about this? Now the time? Might not be back for a while. Fleet do it?
I would also say Nat isn't here.
Yeah. Would Fleet do it?
I don't know,
Probably
buddy,
not.
would she?
Probably not.
All right.
Fleet understands that there are certain things you don't talk about, even if she doesn't understand it very well. So, just enjoy the company.
Sure.
Yareth would like to try and find some alone time, like in a bedroom or something.
Of course.
Oh, well.
Maybe not in
Really?
Althea's... moving on. Maybe not in Althea's mother's room, house, sorry, because it's quite cramped for all of you, but you can definitely go down a side street.
Yeah.
Or something.
He'll just sit down somewhere where he thinks no one can find him, and just take off the belt buckle and stare at it. Like, if he can, for like half an hour, and just stare at it, just say, "Who the hell are you, and what on earth have you given me? That was weird, and I don't like it."
The belt buckle seems to react as you might expect any mundane belt buckle to.
Yeah.
That is to say, not at all.
Mm-hmm. Fine. Keep your secrets. He'll put the belt buckle back on and rejoin the group.
In the spirit of the character, I'm not going to roleplay for Nat's sake, but I imagine Althea would, at some point, sit down with her mother and just kind of explain the fact that they're probably not going to be back for a while. There's a lot of things she has to do in Cathania. She thinks she'll be safe with her new friends, and it's very important what she's doing. She just wants her mom to know that she will be back. It just might take a while.
All right. So, as you kind of finish up in Kazmir, the kind of this section of story will end, and hang on.
Oh, we're hanging on.
You'll gain another level. You're now level 4. So
Yay!
go ahead and fill out your character sheets for what you have. So, Britty, Fleet, what are you getting at level 4?
Well, I get the ability score increase, as I think every character gets at level 4.
Althea doesn't, because she's...
Yes, because every class gets at level 4. I also get slow fall, which means if I'm ever falling from a great height, I believe it is I use my reaction. Yes, to reduce any falling damage you take by an amount 5 times equal to my monk level. So minimum, I get 20 reduced damage from any falling damage I take. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Would have helped you in that last fight when the unicorn teleported you above the...
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Yeah. All right. Phoenix, what are you getting at this level?
I get an ASI, which... Oh, I'd been holding back on this decision, but
I gave you like several days to plan these out.
No, it was a choice. It was a choice of 2 things. It was a choice of either 1 intelligence, 1 wisdom to round out those scores. But I think I'm going to be taking the keen mind feat.
Oh, what does that do?
Let me find it for you.
And I might be able to put it up. And
Oh, I'll bet I can. Yes, I will have it up for the stream so they can read it as well.
Yeah. So, intelligence increases by 1. He always knows which way is north. He always knows the number of hours left before the next sunrise or sunset. And he can accurately record anything you've seen or heard within the past month. Yeah, it's good for people who don't take notes, that one. At least that's the meme around.
Well, look, I don't remember this. My character does. Can you tell me what I remember?
Of course. Yeah. All right. Yarth, what are you taking?
So I get another spell, another cantrip, and then for ability score improvement, I just needed to check, DM. We're not allowing feats and tashes yet, are we?
No, not as
Beautiful.
of yet. We haven't
In
had
that
a
case,
chance
my
to do that as of yet.
my options go from 4 down to 2, and so it's either Mage Slayer or Warcaster feat, and I'm not sure which.
All right.
Warcaster is pretty cool.
Yeah. So, we'll quickly touch on Althea and might come back to you.
Warcaster is the best feat, just saying.
So, Althea took another level in Bard. She now has a ability called Mantle of Inspiration, where she can make herself look wondrous. And when she does so, she gives all her friends temporary hit points, and they can move because she just looks so beautiful. And she also has something called Enthralling Performance, where she can charm anybody within a certain range of her as she speaks, and they're just like, "Whoa, isn't Althea awesome?" And they just look at her like she's second coming of Christ kind of thing. Yeah, that's what she gets.
Doing that anyway.
Well, Urashi, what are you getting?
So I'm not sure because I'd forgotten that level 4 was the ASCII level. I could either max my strength or my constitution, or I could take a feat. Or I could bump up one of my dump stats, but where's the fun in that?
I mean, Great Weapon Master is pretty cool. Being
It is
able to
pretty
get
good.
extra damage on your axe swings.
Yeah, but
not bad.
you have to be doing like the death blow or a crit, don't you? First, I could take Sentinel as well. Sentinel seems quite a good choice for Ash.
Wait, death blow or crit for Great Weapon Master?
I think so.
No, that's
It
just
has
you take a
no,
-5 to hit, and you get a +10 to damage.
Yeah, so the second part of
Thank
Great
you.
Mathematics is when you score a critical hit or kill a creature, you can make a weapon attack as a bonus action. But the main part is before you make an attack, you can declare that you'll take a -5 to your attack roll, but you gain +10 to your damage roll.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm
That is
taking
the
that.
main part of it.
There we
I'm
go.
taking that.
There we
That's so
go.
good.
When you score a critical
Is-
hit with a melee weapon
is
or
a-
reduce a creature to 0 hit points with 1, you can make a melee weapon attack as a bonus action.
Yes.
So it's pretty good on barbarians. I would like to think.
Are you
Yeah.
doing our level up now?
Yes, that is what we're doing now.
I just have to decide: do I want?
Oh yes!
Oh yeah. and help.
Okay. Alrighty then.
Oh, you
Yeah,
got
but
both
it's
ends of the
the average.
spectrum.
On average, nice.
You got a 12 and a 2 for on your dice rolls.
Yeah, Phoenix is taking the average.
I mean, that's fine. It's your decision.
It's my turn to decide whether I want more wisdom or more dexterity, because my stats as they are right now, I really can't afford to take a feat.
Yeah. Any update on what you thinking, Riley?
No.
All right. Well, we'll move on.
I'm the
Then when you
worst
make
person.
a decision, you can just casually slip it in.
Actually, I've just thought of the Yareth feat. I'm not taking either of those. I'm taking Inspiring Leader.
Oh
Alright.
no! Oh no!
No!
And so, what does Inspiring Leader do?
Let me pull
I
that
can
up.
give a 10-minute speech, inspiring my companions, showing up their resolve to fight when I do choose up to 6 friendly creatures, which can include yourself.
Is it just?
They gain temporary hit points equal to my level plus my charisma modifier.
Is it just that when you finish the speech, we're so relieved it powers us up?
Oh, thank God that's over. I thought it'd speak forever.
It's just Yareth saying chat for 10 minutes.
There's some other words in there.
I
but
would
it
rule
is
that is
90%
not an
chaps.
inspiring speech. Yes. All right. So, the journey from Casimir to Gutslam Gushanam, however you want to pronounce it, depends on where in the world you're from, will take 3 days. So you'll, I assume, spend 2 nights at hostels. So that'll be 5 gold per night, unless you want to do a barbarian and sleep outside.
Oh, before we leave
Barbarian
Casimir,
and sleep outside. Can I just confirm as well? Did we get 100 gold each from delivering the unicorn? Unicorn sad. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep outside.
before we leave Casimir, I would go find that Furbolg who gave us the information.
Of course.
Give him 2 gold.
Oh, why, thank you, friend. That is mighty
And
generous.
the information came in useful, and well, I try to be a man of my word.
You're saying you actually saw a unicorn?
Yeah, we ran into one.
His eyes kind of go wide. Wow.
Actually, if I don't know how. I don't want to presume that it's the stigma that all Furbolgs are druids. I understand how annoying that kind of perception might be, but if you are so inclined, I believe that particular unicorn could actually do with a bit of help at the moment. Maybe not even you, but if you know of any more you can get in contact with. Over by the 3rd site you mentioned, the tree, they
All right.
they could do with a bit of help.
I will certainly try and make that well known. Most of my family works in that area of the woods, so I haven't heard from some in a while, but, I'll be sure to pass the message along.
Right. I suppose bearer of bad news then. There was, when I say they need help, something terrible happened to the tree. It was corrupted. I'm not familiar with the magic used as much as I'd like to be. A lot of furbolgs seem to have been used as... A lot of furbolgs died to corrupt that tree.
Furbolgs can't go pale because they have fur, but you kind of, from his expression, you kind of the furbolg equivalent of paling as you deliver this news.
Again, I'm sorry to be the one to have to tell you this, but I suppose best you should know.
Yes. I thank you.
The unicorn we ran into, if you do get in contact with it, Philathi Cathan, this Quicken Pasternicus should be able to fill you in on what exactly happened.
All right. Well, if you I will certainly do that. What was your name again?
Phoenix. Phoenix White.
Right. I might seek you out again sometime.
Of course. I mean,
Mr. White.
I wish I could. I wish I had better news for you.
Well, me too. Good travels.
And you. Stay safe.
He'll kind of nod his head. He's clearly been shook somewhat by your news, but yes.
And while we're still in civilization, Phoenix will pick up 50 gold more of appropriate spellcasting resources.
Cool.
Transcribing resources.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else doing anything else in Kazmir? All right. So, as I say, it's a 3-day trip to Guxnam, and 2 nights and 2 hospitals, so a gold for those of you staying for both nights. Urashi, can you roll me a D20, please?
Yes, I can, because I am a chaos goblin.
Oh dear.
Yes!
Oh.
That's be the only nat 20 I get in this entire campaign. Guarantee it.
I think you've gotten one before, haven't you?
Yeah, but this will be the last one.
Right, okay. Highly noted. All right. So, as you make your way into Guxnam, new backdrop. Woo.
Britty.
Yeah. So, some of you would be aware of this, being from the area. Althea definitely would be aware of this. You should probably share it. Guxnam is mostly known for being a brewery town. So a lot of the industry is around developing various ales and beers and stouts, porters, stuff like that. The area immediately around it is ideal for growing things like barley. In kind of the last day approaching the city, a lot of the farms and stuff you'll see around will be growing barley and hops and stuff like that. Yes, as you walk into the city, the outer area, it definitely smells like a brewery. Kind of, there are the musk of the town is decidedly fragrant. As you move in towards
sentence. Everyone loves some fragrant musk.
Yeah, I am a master of words. As you move in towards the centre of town, the air becomes less heavy with alcohol, and it becomes a lot more pleasant, just kind of the main outer area. Now, since we have moved into Cathania for the first time, I would like to brief you all and the audience on Cathania in general, just to make sure we're all on the same level playing field. So move back to the map for a moment. So, Cathania is the ancestral home of dragonborns, lizardfolk, and kobold. And the kind of main deity worshipped in this area is Tuthok, the dragon god. Now, Tuthok, also known as Lord of the Dragons, is the oldest and probably the most powerful of all the gods. He was the first to emerge from the darkness, from the Dark Wars, or before Dark Wars, technically. And he kind of is known for facing and defeating kind of the cruelest and most maleficent entities that were the opponents of the gods during that time. As he was kind of the oldest and he was the one who started the war, he kind of acted as a de facto leader for the gods during this time. And he was especially powerful due to the heightened concentration of the power of mental chaos, which fueled him. And this was during this time that he made the true dragons, which again fed off these primordial energies. He also spawned several other things, including stuff like wyverns, which aren't true dragons. Obviously, the true dragon's way is most powerful. However, towards the end of the Dark Wars, kind of as the gods were consolidating their position on the surface world of Gaecia, kind of was the time when the power of the end of chaos, the waning of it, was starting to have effect on several creatures. This is when the Genasi, or the genies, withered and turned into what are currently known as the Genasi, and correspondingly, Tuthok and the True Dragons themselves also started diminishing power. Seeing this, he decided to reshape his True Dragon children, and in this he created the Dragonborn. So they are literally direct conversions. So each Dragonborn kind of should be able to trace their lineage back to a specific true dragon, and there's probably lots of stories and pride built around the tales of their true dragon ancestor and what they did during the Dark Wars. And kind of the more powerful noble houses in Dragonborn are those who had particularly notable true dragon ancestors. Obviously, these Dragonborn were few in number, so he created the lizardfolk and kobolds to kind of act as a larger tiered society, and they were kind of made the first kind of kingdom in Gaecia. So if you look at the map, so kind of north of this section of river and west of the Iceborne Mountains, this region is what is known as Old Cathania, because this is the original bit of land that was set aside for the children of Tuthok to live. This is when the rest of Gaecia was kind of homogenous and wasn't separated in different kingdoms yet. And so the lizardfolk and kobolds and Dragonborn, so the Dragonborn are highly respected by their cousins, and they kind of act generally as the nobles, the leaders, that kind of thing. The lizardfolk form a kind of middle class, and they kind of act in kind of more skilled artisanal jobs, and so stuff like smithery or jewellery, stuff like that. Kind of, while the four more fine examples, might be a Dragonborn, they're kind of more run-of-the-mill, is likely to be lizardfolk. Now, the kobolds are kind of the main working class, and they are the ones who do they mostly do manual labour, so most of the fields you would see, or the farms would be probably tended by kobolds, opposed to any other race, and they might be managed by lizardfolk or Dragonborn. And as you walked through the brewery section of Guxnam, you would have seen that they were mostly manned by kobolds with like lizardfolk foremans and such. Now, after he had created these kind of three races, Tuthok himself kind of settled in a cavern to essentially sleep for the rest of time, because obviously his own power is diminishing. as the elemental chaos did. And so obviously he couldn't last forever, so he decided to stay in perpetual slumber so he could be with his creations kind of in perpetuality. So kind of on top of this cavern, the first Dragonborn, Lizardfolk, and Kobolds kind of erected a citadel known as Cathania, which to this day acts as the capital. And it is ruled by a kind of steward known as the Warden King. And they speak with the voice of the god. And they rule the peoples of Cathania with an iron fist. During the Titan Wars, Old Cathania kind of stood strong, and it actually expanded to what is currently modern Cathania. So they've got the New Cathania is always known as this southern part of it. So obviously it became the size it is today. So the reason they were able to do this is because the legions of Cathania are the most organized and probably the most fearsome singular fighting force in the entirety of Gaecia. And to this day, Cathania is the dominant military power. So this southern section, which is known as New Cathania, it consists of cities that were not originally Dragonborn. So these cities in the west, they're originally Elven in origin. These are Halfling, Human, and Dwarven. And so while kind of the actual lords and leaders of the cities are likely to be Dragonborn, the majority of their populace will still be the corresponding races. So Guxenum, the majority of people there will be humans, although there are still a lot of kobolds and lizard folk who live there as well. But humans are still the dominant population. But yeah, that's Cathania 101.
Home sweet home.
Yeah. So, as you make your way into the centre of the city, I assume you plan to stay at the local Merryfall Association Tavern, but you don't have to.
I mean, Merryfall's been good to us so far. It would feel wrong to not continue to be a loyalty customer, you know?
Yeah. Right. So the local Merryfall Association Tavern is known as the Leaky Barrel, and the sign will depict a barrel that's kind of got, it's been patched over several times. It's leaking different
by any
places.
chance a
Pardon?
leaking barrel?
Well, yes, a
God,
barrel.
I'm shocked.
And kind of leaning casually as if it's almost in the bath. There is this grinning kobold who's got a tankard full of ale. He's kind of holding up like cheers. But yes. Inside, you'll find your typical Merryfall assortment. So that is to say, a lot of various peoples. Yes, it is one of the larger establishments you actually come across. It is by far the busiest. It's quite noisy. Yeah.
And sorry, Farrad, I missed it. What was the cost of the 2 stops we took along the way to go?
It'd be a gold in total because it's half a silver each.
Right.
For the hostels. So.
And along the way, Phoenix would have transcribed 1 spell.
Nice.
And a whole spell. You willikers.
Yeah, but that 1 whole spell is hold person, so,
Fair enough.
It's 1 hold spell.
Hey.
Hold person, also known as...
I'm here all evening.
Hold person, also known as the Divination Wizards. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Fair, I hope you'll be here all evening. It'd be pretty hard to play this game without you.
Well, yes. Okay, yes. As I say, it's a bustling tavern. It's probably the most boisterous one you've ever seen. Stood behind the counter, there is the bartender this time is actually a lizard folk. He is currently wiping out a tankard classic barkeeper style, kind of observing the rabble in front of him. Yeah, what do?
What sort of time is it?
It's kind
What
of
did
6-ish in the evening.
What time
tea time.
exactly is it?
I don't know. It's
12.
6:23 and 47.5 seconds.
Barrett, what did my D20? What was my D20 for?
I'm not going to tell you. I would have told you if I
Oh.
wanted you to know.
Oh,
I just have to roll me a D20.
Scary.
oh
Okay.
No, I'd
no.
have free it. There's no need to be
Well-
scared.
In that case, Ash, just vibes. Actually, we're in like a town, right?
You're in the city.
Yes, big city.
Ah, yes, city time. Ash goes walking around the city looking for weird places. And she has
Alright.
no sense for danger, so she probably will walk straight into a gang warfare or something. But I don't think
Roll-
she'll mind, so.
Roll me investigation.
Despite having danger sense.
I know the class feature literally says.
I literally just said she has no sense for danger, but she has a class feature called danger sense.
Wrong
different kind of
investigation.
danger sense.
I'm rolling it. Oh, yes, Ash!
Right.
Fuck!
The dice
Um,
gods giveth. They take it away.
You kind of just thought you were getting used to cities, kind of, in Kazmir and Eighthway, however, the layout of this one is just completely different. You just can't get a handle of it. You kind of walk around like a few streets. You don't get very far. You don't see much interesting. You just get lost. You kind of waste an hour, hour and a half, and eventually you wind up in front of the same
Ash
tavern.
minds being lost.
I'm just saying you are. After an hour and a half, you kind of wind up in front of the same tavern. You're like, hang on, I could have sworn I was going in a straight line the entire time. But somehow you have gone in a big circle.
She'll keep going. Honestly, she'll just keep going.
That
Continue
is the
in
general.
circle.
She doesn't
do.
care if she finds anything. She just wants to walk around and
Well,
look at
yeah, you can
stuff.
keep walking around town, but you don't find anything interesting.
Yeah, no,
at least
that's
not
fine.
that you notice. You might walk past interesting stuff, you just won't notice it. All right. So Rashi's just wandering around all evening. Anybody else?
Althea will do her usual thing, which Nat can correct me next session is out of character, but Althea will pay for the rooms, as she usually does, as she usually offers to.
How generous of you, Matt.
She's done this in, like, every other tavern, every other Merryfield tavern we've been to.
Admittedly, that was why you were working for her. Yes, it will be a gold each per room.
Yeah, so 5 gold. Actually, no, it's 4 gold, because
Fleet always shares a room.
Fleet and Urashi will share.
Oh, right. So it's 8 silver for the people sharing a room.
Don't worry, Nat, I am keeping an accurate count.
That was very
Anybody
cash
else?
money.
And Phoenix will, while she's doing that, Phoenix will go up to the bartender and, after paying a couple coppers for a cider, he'll ask if he's familiar with the name Mazoth.
Why, yes, I have heard the name once or twice. You here to see the show?
Oh, what is the bartender?
He's a lizard folk.
Right.
He's quite burly for a lizard folk, but he's a lizard folk nonetheless. Kinda
Show?
cool.
I'm afraid you're gonna have to fill me in, friend. I've only heard of the man by name. I was
Oh. Well, once every so often, he will deign to display his prowess in front of a paying audience. He is renowned for many things. However, the shows typically focus on his ability to reverse the effect of aging. Normally occurs when a noble pays a handsome price for the service.
reverse the effects.
Yes, typically they will lose 10 to 15 years. They become younger, their wrinkles will fade.
What, permanently, or is this just...
As far as I have heard, the effect is permanent.
Where does he do this?
He has a tent that gets set up in one of the squares whenever he plans on doing it. The next one, I believe, is tomorrow night. I forget the name of the square exactly, but I'm sure I can find out for you.
That would be appreciated. Does he have a more permanent residence in town?
He is elusive. If he has one, it is not publicly known. He only appears from time to time to perform his show, and then he leaves. He is mysterious, but I gather that is part of his so-called brand.
Thanks for the information while I'm here. I suppose the tourist spiel, what's there to see in Guxenham? I haven't been to this part of Cathania before.
Tourist? Not a lot, unless you are interested in sampling barrel of ale after barrel of ale, which many a folk are. However, this is a working town. There's not a lot in the way of sights. Mazoth is by far our only tourist attraction.
What's the industry here, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, we are most known for our brewing. However, there is a lot in the way of kind of metalworking. You will be able to find blacksmiths who forge buckets and spades. We are not permitted to forge a great many weapons here. That is reserved for the more northerly cities. However, there is a decent amount of civilized metalworking that goes on here.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'd be delighted to try the local brew.
Well, I have a selection here tonight. You kind of gesture, and there is indeed a wall that is kind of just of various barrels, and each one seems to have a different name. There will be a couple kobold kind of bar hands who will kind of currently be changing one. And it's quite heavy for them. They kind of under the weight.
What's the local favorite?
Favorite? Ooh. As I say, there are a great many competing breweries, so it depends which family you ask. Myself, I try not to play favorites, because they all give me a discount.
Go on, you must have a recommendation. Preference.
It kind of gives you a look. Fire Ganassi, eh? How about the Phoenix Stout? I have heard it is somewhat popular with people of your bent, although I have not seen it firsthand.
Yeah, I'll try that. Have you got anything, what is the most noxious thing you've got back there?
Noxious? Do you mean strong?
Yeah, something that'll probably knock you out.
Well, I do believe I might have a single bottle of absinthe.
Nah, I'm not sure I could swing that.
The bottle? It is quite a sturdy bottle.
No, I'll take a round of that Phoenix brew.
All right. Around how many for?
5.
5. That will be 5 copper then. You'll kind of go to the barrel and you'll start drawing out pints. So as you take these pints back to your table, they are frothing, but kind of you almost swear there's a spark that kind of comes out of a couple of the bubbles as they pop. As you look at them, you can't see it. It's just kind of in the corner of your eye. You get that impression. As you drink them, it is basically spicy beer. And I'll leave it up to you exactly how you find it. But I mean, it's definitely an interesting experience.
Yeah, Phoenix would just walk back over, set it down on the table, go, local brew. Recommended to me personally. Should be good.
Yarrick likes it.
gonna chug that shit.
Yeah. Phoenix will also, somewhat uncharacteristically, just down his drink.
I'm pretty sure Ash is still wandering around in some dodgy back alley somewhere.
Phoenix will drink Ash's drink as well.
Ash will
Right.
come around at some point.
Hey? Anything else?
That's hot. What is
So
that?
if we're willing to, like I said, local brew. Apparently they're pretty famous around here for their brewery.
I see.
If we're here, I don't know how long we plan on staying here, but if we're here for a little bit, we'll have to try each of the brews then.
Well, if we're willing to stay a night, there's apparently a bit of a show on.
Oh,
This ain't gonna be like the last one we tried, is it?
No, apparently this is a bit of a spectacle. De-aging.
de-aging.
Doing
Yeah.
what now?
Apparently there's a wizard here who can reverse the aging process. 10, 15 years. Like that.
That sounds horrible. Let's never go anywhere near him.
You're not there. You're all lost.
You are lost.
That's what the Ash voice in the back of your head says.
Then you are lost.
That sounds.
Oh, Ash's telepathy now. Wow.
That sounds.
So many.
We should definitely go and give it a look.
Yeah, I might have a couple questions for this particular wizard.
I don't know about you, Phoenix, but it's no magic that I've ever heard of.
No, I've heard of a couple things, but nothing this direct.
In fact, the pair of you roll me Arcana, please. Since you're hovering around the subject.
Can I try it as well? Maybe I read
No,
something.
you are not educated in magic.
I hung around educated people. I was hoping it would count.
All right. I mean, yeah.
Damn.
Might the occasional story, but most of it's kind of considered to be gobbledygook. It's only like, oh, there's one account from one time a million years ago. It's probably a kind of Lady Godiva thing. Is most of the stories you've heard. Riley, you think your first gut instinct as you start to think of it is this might be fraudulent, possibly.
It's one of those things, isn't it? You'd think if there was a magical way to immortality, you wouldn't see so many old wizards walking around with grey beards.
You certainly wouldn't.
You do remember your friend Maria told you that supposedly this guy is meant to have lived for 1,000 years.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Phoenix wouldn't have shared that part until it's been...
Yeah, I'm just making sure you remember and sharing with the stream so everybody's caught up.
Well, his show's not on until tomorrow evening, and he will stand back up and go get another drink.
Yeah, I'll
All
follow up.
I mean, it sounds interesting. I wouldn't be volunteering, but certainly sounds like something.
It's certainly something.
All right. Are we just drinking the rest of the night away?
I'd say so.
Phoenix is...
Cool. So it'll be one cup of
I'm
cup
lost.
drink here.
At some point,
because
Fleet would try to
it's-
track down Ash.
I mean,
Fine,
sure.
just get lost.
I'm not going to make you roll a die because that has potentially catastrophic.
Yeah, we could just all be lost.
Yeah, so I will say that you will find Urashi and bring her back to the tavern.
Come on, enough wandering for you. Gotta try this drink. Hot.
Ash protests gently, but she will come back.
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Right.
Just likes to wander around. God damn it, Riley.
Yeah, so 1 copper per drink you plan on having. I'll let you decide if you're getting drunk or not.
By the time Ash gets back, Phoenix is onto his 6th drink. and is doodling in his spell book.
All right.
Chap. Please don't take offense to this, but you're drinking a little bit heavier than usual. You good?
Much heavier than you.
Why wouldn't I be?
Because when the rest of us have beer or ale, you normally take a very light cider.
Yeah, well, you know, flaming hair, flammable liquid.
What's up?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking about how many of our problems end up as corpses.
It's not great, I know.
Well, we didn't kill the unicorn, and that was a problem.
No, the unicorn led us to a problem.
Yeah, and well,
No, we
but we didn't.
dealt with the problem very efficiently.
Yes.
I would agree. I would have loved to know why, how that thing was trapped in the tree. That was uncomfortable.
All I know is that the real problem hasn't been solved. It's certainly not going to be solved by us.
I don't know if we have enough
Ash
knowledge for it.
raises a quizzical eyebrow at Phoenix.
Not with that attitude.
I don't see you turning back and walking back to the Faltorn to resurrect a tiefling.
I don't think any of us can. But somebody's holding out on us.
So I'll walk anywhere. That's kind of my thing.
Althea will just kind of go, no, I can't do that. I think it's possible, but no, I definitely can't do anything like that.
And I know it's a
That
thing
was a
that can happen.
disconcertingly good Althea impression.
I know it's a thing, but like none of us can do it. That's high magic. That's impressive stuff. Even talking with the dead is impressive enough. And I agree with you, Phoenix. I think we could have stood a little bit more cautiousness in that encounter. I think capturing him would have been more beneficial, and pipe dream I know, but maybe we could have found a peaceful resolution. But we won't be able to fix every problem like that as much as I would like to. Sometimes gotta punch it real hard until it stops.
Phoenix would just write something in his spellbook. Just, I don't like killing things. Just kind of slump forward on the table and kind of rest his head on his arms.
I think that makes at least 3 of us, chap. Me and Althea said that right from the start.
I'm not particularly a fan. I'd rather knock people out than actually kill them. Most people don't deserve to die. Almost everyone. I don't think I've met someone who deserves to die yet. Not that I can remember.
I mean, I've bet some pretty shifty-looking rabbits.
Yareths? Rabbits are lovely. Don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, they are lovely roasted.
They're also lovely creatures. They're quite
Very
kind.
rude.
And they are delicious. By the way, you get the sense that Ash is kind of fucking with you, but also that she's completely serious at the same time.
I think Phoenix would just quietly snort into his arms and readjust. Probably next time you look over, he's probably just asleep.
Aww.
Well, I think Phoenix has the right idea. I think we could all use a night's rest. Plus, we've got a show to see tomorrow. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm pretty excited.
Alright. So, the
I like
night
seeing things.
passes uneventfully. Urashi, can roll me another d20, please.
Oh yeah, boy.
Another.
Yeah.
Oh, how I feel about this.
That's not an ominous number at all.
I mean, not a bad number. All right. Morning will dawn. I suspect Phoenix might rise slightly later than normal.
No, he can't. He rises every day with the dawn.
All right. As you
Oh,
stumble
poor boy
down,
can't even sleep off his hangover.
you all make your way down with various skill at traversing the stairs to your breakfast, which will be it'll be toast basically, and various kind of spreads, jams, meats potentially go on it. They seem to be big on meat here in Cathania.
Absolutely fine by me.
All right. After you finish your breakfast, you have the day ahead of you. What is the plan?
Do we know when this show is gonna happen?
Just said evening. Said it was a bit of a local thing, so I imagine it shouldn't be hard to find. And I know the square where it's taking place.
Well, then we've probably got a little time to explore the city, maybe get some shopping done. I know, Phoenix, you're
Fleet.
always starving for supplies. Yeah?
Fleet, do you want to go and get lost? Really fun.
As much as I would love to, I feel like I would probably map out the city before I got lost.
Suit yourself. Ash will just immediately walk off.
Oh, wait. The hells. Alright, I'll go chase after her, make sure she doesn't get too far gone. Phoenix, here, take this, and she just slides Phoenix a bag with 125 gold. You've earned it. Just do what you need to do. You seem to know how much things are worth way more than I am, and all your stuff looks really expensive. Just take care. And Fleet bolts off after Ash, trying to make sure she doesn't get too lost.
All right.
Well,
Are you two planning on doing anything particular as you wander around, or are you just wandering
Ash
around?
is, as usual, looking for cool stuff.
Right.
Anything that looks like it might be culturally significant, anywhere that looks like it's frequented by locals. So, like the difference between the inn that Mom, stop it! Sorry. She's hitting me over the head with a squash racket. It's not abusive. It sounds like it is. It's just annoying. Mother!
No,
This is a
Why?
professional stream.
It's
It's
just-
a professional stream.
it's just adding more and more in my mind that you're posh is all.
Yeah, basically. Right, now she's buggered off. Ash is looking for, like, you know the difference between the inn that the tourists go to and the inn that the locals go to. She's looking for those places, those little niches.
It's not a
that
tourist
are harder
inn;
to
it's
find.
an adventurer's inn.
No, you know what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
Um,
But, like the difference
Okay.
between where the people who live here go and where the people who are visiting here go. She's looking for the places
Sure.
where the people who live here
Yeah.
go. And anything,
Okay,
and just literally anything that looks interesting. And by Ash's standards, that could mean something with a shiny doorway. Like, she's easily pleased.
yeah. All right. So, for you two to have a group investigation. So, 2 dice. How you want to distribute them?
I'm so bad at this, it's almost funny.
I have a decent investigation. I think we should each roll one.
One each, yeah.
Is that a fucking joke? Are you kidding me?
Okay,
That's gotta be a
Lumie, you
joke.
have rolled 4 dice today.
Oh
One has
my
been a 13, one has been a natural 1, and 2 have been natural 20s.
What the fuck? You got a 12 on your
That's like the
D12
10
roll
dice
as
I
well.
rolled
I
today.
don't
2
roll
of them,
max
3 of
HP.
them have been natural.
What the
Jesus,
fuck?
Ash. This will never happen
Alright.
to me again. I'm
What
riding
the
a high.
fuck?
Is this what cocaine feels like?
All right.
Stop
So,
hitting me over the head with a squash racket.
So as you wander around Gexnam, okay, so basically the inner city, which is where you're staying, is kind of a wheel and spoke design, whereas the kind of brewery area is kind of more a set of concentric circles.
Oh, that's some beautiful.
Yeah, I know, I am a big artist.
It's gorgeous.
I know. Yes. So yes, it's much as what Phoenix gathered from the barkeeper last night. The main kind of work that gets done in the city is the brewery. You kind of wander around. It seems that's where most of the money is. And you kind of there are several kind of competing kind of companies, and they all have like associated with certain families. You probably pick up a few of their names. You can kind of remember, and you link to barrels that you saw in the tavern last night. You even managed to find the one for the Phoenix Stout, and yeah, this one smells particularly spicy. The kind of the musk around it.
Spicy musk.
Yes, spicy musk.
Spicy musk.
Yes.
In terms of the taverns, so the kind of taverns for the locals, it's not strictly such segregated. However, there is you get a definite distinction where there are certain taverns where the humans tend to go, and there are certain taverns where like the lizard folk and the dragon folk tend to go, and then kobolds just go wherever.
As kobolds should.
You don't necessarily know whether this is kind of just a cultural thing, whether there's something underlying about it. Here is just something you notice. In terms of interesting,
would probably try to go into one of the bars that doesn't quite seem like she should go into.
I mean, you are neither.
At some point, obviously, carry on. But like, if there's one that doesn't exactly seem like it's fit for half orcs, she'll go in that one.
Oh no!
I mean, there isn't one that necessarily screams no half orcs, because you are neither human nor reptilian.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like dive bars. I mean, there could be you probably come across like a hoity-toity restaurant type thing.
Oh hell yeah! Can we crash the hoity-toity restaurant fleet?
I mean, sure. It's mid-morning, so it's not particularly busy.
We'll come back later. We'll come back later. Get off me with the squash racket, woman!
All right. In terms of other interesting things, again, you notice that there is a lot of smithing goes along, although they do seem to be manufacturing mostly house-side items, so spades, buckets, screws, that kind of thing. However, there is one alleyway in particular. It's quite dark, and as you kind of eyes kind of just pass over it, you kind of have to perform a slight double take to actually notice it's there. And kind of halfway down the street, there is a decrepit old sign, which you recognise as one you've seen before in Lantern. And kind of scrawled on it are the words "Boblin's Bazaar."
Hey.
Oh,
I don't think you were here for the first time you went to Boblin's, were you, Lumie?
I don't think I was, but
No.
I've heard about it.
Just when Fleet gave away all her money.
It's okay.
That's
It's
some
okay.
money.
Ash has money and no need for magic items. We're all good.
I mean, are you going in?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%, man.
So, as you head in, it is. I mean, it seems exactly the same as the store you went into in Lantern. The kind of the items are arranged in an order that it seems wrong. There's an arrow snapped in half, placed on a kind of velvet cushion prime of place, whereas a truly stunning kind of diamond necklace is kind of idly flung in a far corner of a particularly dusty shelf. There are barrels that contain things from parasols to halberds to kind of one thing that looks even kind of like a snake, but it seems to be made out of kind of stone as you kind of touch it. And it seems to be a incredibly impressive sculpture. And kind of behind the counter, there is not the blue-haired half-elf. There is a kind of cranky and incredibly grumpy, looking, kind of hunched over, look highly irritable goblin, who is kind of just using his kind of long fingernail, dipping that in an ink pot, and then using that to write out various notes on a piece of parchment. He doesn't seem to pay attention as you walk in.
Ash is just like, I mean, it's kind of a bit bull in a china shop, but she is just anything sparkly. She's just fascinated by.
Sure.
She's not going to touch anything because she's got some.
I was going to say, are you going to touch anything?
She's
Right.
got some sense of how society works,
Right.
but she
yeah.
is like, whoa. at all
And you could
things.
probably spend all day in here just looking at interesting. This is a highly eclectic collection of goods.
She's happy with that. Just gonna look at stuff.
You're not the same person we met before, but the shop is the same. Howdy?
Hello. Who are you?
Goblin so much.
My name's Fleet. This is my friend Lumie.
Is it?
No,
Not
no,
Lumie. This is my
that's not
friend.
right.
Ash! That's what I meant to
Hello.
say. Brain is working very good. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Don't tell me your name. I won't remember it. Who do you think I am?
Well, you asked who I
Oh, the
was.
sign says goblins. So you're goblin, right?
Yes, I am him.
Oh, see, I said I knew you were.
Right, well. What do you want?
Well, we were by and we sort of stumbled into this place. I'm still looking for stuff that'll help me punch better. That's about it. Ash, you want anything?
I don't know. I don't know what these things are.
There are curios from all over. Lots of them are magic, some of them are not. Some just have an interesting history.
Can you tell me about the things, some of the things with histories?
Things with histories. What history are you interested in?
Oh, any history, stuff that's been handed down. From
Stuff that's been
people to
handed
people.
down.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
You kind of hop down. You gather he's probably been on a little stool behind the counter. You'll kind of pot around and you'll kind of start rummaging through the shelves.
I have this.
And he'll kind of pull out it looks like a kind of battered old helmet. It's kind of conical and it's got like little fur bit around the bottom.
This is the helmet of Ugana. He was a warlord from.
Warlord?
When are you from?
Oh god, good question. I've forgotten. Yeah, where am I from?
The year is 3024 post Titan. So PTW, post Titan Wars. 3021.
Okay.
Hang on, perhaps I misheard. Did you guys ask where are we from or when are we from?
He asked when are you from?
Okay.
Oh, right. In that case, I give him the year. I think I've probably learned by now.
PTW?
Yeah, after the Titan War.
Titan War? You sure you don't mean Triffid Prophet?
Triffid what now?
No. Where are you from then?
Oh, well that one's easy.
Also, you answer.
We stepped into the shop in Cathania, Guxnam.
What world?
Gaecia.
Gaecia.
The world's got a name.
Gaecia. Oh! I might have read about it somewhere. So, he seems to be doing quick maths on his fingers. Yeah, it might be...
Quick maths!
Yeah, it'd be about 50, 60 odd thousand years ago for you. There is this chap, and he was a military leader, general or something. I don't know what their words are. And he wanted a way of being able to interrogate people without them being able to resist. And so he commissioned a maid to create this elm. When he wore it, he was able to read a captive's mind somewhat, and possibly have some influence over them while in this state. And then it was, it took him to a great many personal victories over a great many enemies. And then he was, when he died, he passed it down to his son, and then their son, and their son, and so on and so on. And eventually, this, little halfling chap, he wandered in, said it was some relic, and then he sold it to me, about 2 gold, and I had no idea what it was worth. But yes, it's a interesting magical item.
Ash's eyes are like absolutely sparkling. This is just amazing to her.
I mean, it does sound interesting.
What
want it?
special? Well, what does it do? What does it do?
You can use it to, you've got a person in front of you, you want to know what they're thinking about, you use it, and then it lets you see what they're thinking. And then while you're seeing what they're thinking, you can sometimes influence them, so you can do what you want.
Oh gosh, no, that sounds a bit that sounds a bit magic for me.
I don't know
sure?
how I feel about that. Yeah, that feels...
All right.
That feels intrusive. I don't know.
It is cool though.
Not fans of
not great at
enchantment
me.
magic. I see.
What other things with histories do you have?
Other things with histories. Let me see. He'll kind of pot around the shop once more, kind of, He seems to be somewhat careless. He'll kind of chuck things everywhere. A stack of papers might go flying. Yes. You might be interested in this. The DM says as he tries to think of something you can BS.
That's okay. If you want to skip back to the others for a bit, you can think about it and come back to us.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, and he'll kind of actually he will pull out the stone snake from the kind of barrel. This is the staff of the adder.
Half of the adder.
Yes. There was this accountant from someplace about 200 years ago, and he an accountant. He did a lot of adding stuff up. Now, while he was doing all that, he was attacked by this fellow who wanted to modify his adding ups to make things, make him not have to pay as much tax. And so, this accountant, he wished very hard to be able to protect himself against similar scenarios. And the morning when he woke up, this was by his bedside. And he kept it by his side, and eventually, next year, when the taxman came round again, the same fellow came knocking at his door and attempted to attack him so he could doctor the accountant's documents. However, the staff that had been lying
As soon
dormant.
as you mentioned the word accountant, Ash
Yeah.
looks lost.
All right. he's carrying on talking.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just so you're aware, she looks
Yeah.
lost.
Fleet is trying to look interested, but she's failing.
As soon as the man raised his club to whack the accountant, the staff came alive and it turned into a snake. It bit the attacker and they collapsed. It was at this moment that this accountant realised that he'd been saved by the staff and he was owed a debt to this ancient snake-like god. And so he was consumed in perpetual servitude. And when he died, the staff became known as the Staff of the Adder, partially because of the snake it became, and partially because of, that was what the accountant did, at least before he became this servant.
Oh, I get it. It's funny.
What's funny?
The name. It's got two meanings. It's funny.
He kind of looks at you blankly.
Right. Carry on.
That's about it. The staff turns into a snake. You want it?
I mean, it's nice. It's not what I'm looking
Snake.
for.
Won't the snake bite me?
No. It's in your control.
Oh, I don't know if I know how to control a snake.
You will.
The two dumbasses find the magic item shop.
Yes. I'm not particularly interested in this. You could find something that helps me be harder to hit or helps me punch better. That'd be great, but all this other stuff feels like too much for me.
Be harder to hit, eh? Harder to hit or punch better. I have some boots that might be of interest to you.
Does it have to be boots? I already got my nice pair of shoes.
Well, most things that make you harder to hit are boots, because it's all about footwork, innit?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, I've already got a very nice pair of boots, and I ain't looking to get rid of them for a long time.
Oh, well. Stuff that make you hit better, hit better, hit better, hit better. Yeah.
Do you have any non-valuable things like?
Everything in
are-
my shop is of amazing value.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand money.
Well, I could offer you these knuckle dusters to make you hit slightly harder.
For what?
Now you've got my attention.
All right. You kind of slip them over your fingers, and you kind of do so. And then as you punch, it'll kind of guide your shot to the most hurty place. And kind of these little bits that stick out. They're like stick
What a
into veins
marketing
or
technique.
neurons and stuff to cause as much pain as possible.
I don't know what half of those words mean, but I heard punch better. That's all I needed to hear.
All right. So,
How much do you
200
want for 'em?
gold.
He just looks to Ash with the fucking biggest puppy dog eyes. Ash, do you got 150 gold?
Yeah. Here you go. Ash gives you the money. She doesn't understand money.
Lee just immediately hands over the money that was handed to her and the 50 gold she has left and just shoves it in Boblin's face.
Sold! You kind of quickly take the money and then push over the knuckle dusters. These are +1 knuckle dusters, so your attacks count as magic while you use it. Yeah, it's basically a +1 for your unarmed strikes.
Yes! He puts them on and just looks like the happiest kid at Christmas.
Sure.
Fleet is the happiest kid at Christmas.
God damn right.
Can I do anything else for you? He's gone all pirate.
I was going to say, Boblin's accent is never the same twice, and it's something I appreciate greatly.
He's a complicated individual. He's got depth. Why are you laughing?
That was some really quality DM bullshit, that's why.
Because he's very short and he's got depth. It's funny.
Okay, I think that's probably us done here, so I guess we'll
Right.
leave the shop and just vibe.
He's
Right.
just shadowboxing for the rest of the day. She's loving this.
I like the idea that Ash is walking around, gazing up at the sky, staring at the architecture, and Fleet's just like walking behind her, taking 2 steps all the time and punching things that aren't there.
Yes!
Okay.
That's just the way this friendship goes. That's just how it is.
We'll say that's your day's adventure.
Yeah, that's us.
Yareth and Phoenix, what are you doing?
And Althea.
Well, you know, she's floating around.
Don't know about
What do you think? You in an exploratory mood, or you want to do something productive?
Apparently, a gale force wind's just blowing through. I need to pick up a couple of things. Thinking about it. Well, I've just noticed I have one of the things that I needed to pick up.
That's convenient, isn't it?
It is.
In
It
it.
turns out already have a disguise kit, which is awesome. Yeah, Yareth. Yareth would say that he would like to spend the day to himself, if that's all right with Phoenix.
That's all right. What about you, Althea? I'm fine, just, taking in the sights, as it were.
At least I'm no longer the only one RPing with themselves.
In which case, Phoenix will, I don't know, he's a bit torn now. He was going to go earn a bit of money, but Fleece just dumped a bag of gold in his... And, no, that was his plan. So he's going to go up to the bartender, see if there's any kind of work that will tide him over until the evening.
Depends. Are you interested in working here?
Well, what sort of jobs do you have?
I might be able to find some barrels for you to look about. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm no stranger to working in a tavern. Yeah, put me to work.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So you do a couple hours of work, and you will earn 3 silver for the privilege. That's kind of your morning.
Althea will just have a wander around the city.
I'm sure she will. Hey,
Probably for about an hour, and then she'd probably get worried and start looking for Ash. And
sure.
Yareth will attempt to locate and purchase a forgery kit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, you'll definitely be able to find that. You might not necessarily find a kit, but you'll be able to find like all the various components. It's not so untoward to be able to find.
While also looking up things, he would potentially also try and go to an arm and see if he can trade in or just purchase, trade in his standard leathers for some studded leathers or similar things.
Sure. So forgery kit is 15 gold.
Yep. Done and done.
Then studded leather is 45.
Can they do anything if I like trade in already existing leather armor, or is it sort of it's beaten up, so not really?
Trading in your old leather armor, it costs 10 roll me persuasion.
Of course. 20.
Yeah, he'll give you a 3 gold rebate. You've kept care of it quite well, and able to persuade him. You can, work it around and resell it.
Awesome. Now, does Yareth want to do Yareth things?
I mean, Yareth's gonna Yareth.
Yareth will try and go to a slightly dodgy pub and try and swindle some people.
Sure. So
With
you
like
say-
three card Monty and the like.
All right. Okay.
Casting friends as well, where it's absolutely necessary.
All right. Okay. So we'll do our little card mini game. So We'll take it in turns to roll a d8, d6, and d4.
Yep.
And then add them all together, and then we'll do our betting. And obviously, you can, if you're like to change one, you can roll a sleight of hand per thing. All right. So, roll me your d8, please.
Six.
Okay. What is your initial bet?
We'll go with. I'm feeling lucky today. 10 gold.
All right. A slightly tipsy human who you suspect, if he was more sober, might not bid this much, given the quality of his clothing. It seems like it might be a lot of money to him, but he will hand it over. D6. Are you
Three.
raising?
Oh. Raised by 3 gold, just to make it balance on my character sheet at the moment.
He seems reluctant, however, the human will do so as well. Roll me your d4, please. All right. Are you wishing to change any of your cards, or i.e. reroll any of your dice?
I will attempt to re-roll the d6.
Cool. Sleight of hand, please. Yeah, you reckon you managed to get away with it? Reroll your d6.
That's both times. I think it's either been the exact same or worse.
Yeah. So you have a total of 13, yes?
Yes.
Your opponent has a total of 9. He did not roll very well.
Yes.
And yes, you managed to get... you profit by 13 gold from this
Awesome.
particular individual over the course of a few hands.
Yeah.
So on.
I'll give him 3 copper and just say, buy yourself a drink or 2, chap.
Thank you. You owe it to me for all the money you've taken. My wife will not be happy with you. What was your name again?
Exactly. My name.
Yes.
My name is, and Yareth would have a name to hand quicker than I do. Just a gnomish name.
He is Gerald Neric.
Tareth
Neric to his friends. Well, I will tell my wife your name, and she will, after she's murdered me, she'll come and murder you. So sleep with a dagger under your pillow tonight.
I always do.
Friend to friend, because we're friends now. Although you did take my money, so we're not friends. I don't know.
Once you share a round of cards with...
Yes.
All of these names are horrible. Bacco. Once you play a game of cards with Bacco, you're friends for life. So
exactly. Give me a hug.
Gareth will reluctantly, one arm hug.
You get vomited on.
Prestidigitation, it's gone. Lovely. Thank you.
I'll see you later.
Sure you will. Farewell.
All right. Anybody else for anything else? Okay. So, you will finish your activities for the day, and you'll eventually kind of regroup towards evening, ready to head off to Mazoth Theatre. And this is where we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in 5-10 minutes. See you all then.
See you in a bit, guys.
Bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Chromet. Hope you enjoyed our little break. Someone's breathing heavily.
Yeah.
It might be.
Lumie, I think you might be breathing into your microphone a bit.
Yeah, it's definitely you.
Lumie.
Are you here with
Lumie?
us?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're breathing to your microphone.
Oh,
Quite loud.
I thought I was muted. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Yes. So before the break, our still unnamed party were exploring the city of Guxnam, and they gathered once more to visit the show of the mage, who supposedly has a measure of power over life and aging, by the name of Mazoth, who Phoenix was told about by a water canassi friend down in Lantern. So, you make your way into the kind of square in which the show is happening. It's kind of a large enough tent. You reckon it could house maybe 100 people or so, with a decent sized stage, and there is a large crowd outside, far more than 100 people. The majority of them seem to be kind of working class people, and they seem to be just milling around. The kind of more well-to-do people seem to be making their way through towards the entrance. You guess that perhaps their entry might be a bit more expensive than these working class people can necessarily afford, which is why they might be hanging around to hear what they can and all that. It seems that this might be somewhat exclusive price-wise. But you make your way, you kind of force your way through the crowd. I imagine Urashi kind of helps. And eventually you kind of approach the entrance to this tent. There appears to be a lizard folk guard stood outside, and a halfling who seems to be issuing tickets and taking people's money. Hello, what on earth can I do for you?
We're here to see the show. How much is
I
it?
see. It is a 5 gold a ticket. Well, it is expensive, but it is an extraordinary event. I'm sure you will be. The experience is worth far more than the gold it costs.
So
You
we've
will
been
walk away from this evening changed people, I assure you.
DM,
Yes.
just as a general rule of thumb,
Mhm.
Yareth, with his experience in attempting to swindle people, will be looking for every sign that this is a con.
Sure. Insight.
He does not believe any of this at all and will be doing it throughout the night. His insight. I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to use inspiration on that, because
All right.
even though it gets
Yeah.
to 12, Yareth cares that much.
Yeah. All right. I mean, the way that he's acting, he's bigging it up, but that's what you expect the thingy to any show would do, regardless of it's a swindle or not. At this point, there's not much to go off.
Yeah. I imagine more throughout the night.
Yeah.
There should be a couple of things.
Yeah, Phoenix would just fish out 5 gold. Came to see
Yeah.
a show, didn't I?
Thank you. He'll kind of pocket it away, and he'll kind of pull out a smallish apartment. That's just kind of admit one, and he'll give it to you.
Yes, it sounds like an interesting time. And Althea will also hand over 5 gold.
All right.
Pete will pay 5 gold.
Ash doesn't understand money. She will also pay 5 gold.
All right. Yareth.
Yeah, Yareth pays.
Sure. Okay. So you'll get your tickets, and you'll be guided into the tent. So, actually, they're not there yet. As you walk in, it is half full. It's about half an hour until the show's meant to start. You kind of wander up this main aisle, and you see this kind of main stage area. It's kind of the lowest point, and the stairs all kind of rise out. It's kind of the floor is kind of made out of a red painted wood paneling. It seems the kind of thing that you construct and take down. And the seats themselves, they're kind of more benches, so it definitely doesn't look like the most comfortable thing in the world. However, you kind of make your way to a middle row, and you eventually sit down. The atmosphere inside is quite excited. The kind of people all around you will be chattering intently to one another. Looking at the demographics, it generally seems to be these kind of more well-to-do people. So there might be like a blacksmith who seems to be a master of his craft. A few kind of well-known merchants. I think I might recognise a couple of them. There are possibly 3 or 4 Dragonborn, 1 or 2, 8 or 9 lizard folk, and there are no kobolds. There's a decent number of humans, maybe 30, as it kind of eventually fills up. However, there's a lot of variety that you didn't see in the streets as you're walking around. So there'll be a number of gnomes, halflings, elves, that kind of thing. You imagine these people probably travelled into the city to see the theatre, and it's probably 90% of the gnomes, halflings, and elves in the city will be in this tent this evening.
What's the ceiling of this tent like? What's it supported by?
Yeah, so it's canvas, and so there's kind of poles. So kind of standing up at base, there'll be poles standing up to the kind of where the roof is. There's kind of a circle that goes round, kind of around the stage, and then there's kind of supported, kind of they taper up to a point up from there. So the highest point of the tent will be over the center of the stage.
Fenix would surreptitiously kind of resummon Moat and have him fly up to one of these kind of interlocking poles, just kind of rest there with a good view down to the middle of the stage.
Sure. All right. So, a few kobolds will be kind of walking around the tent. They seem to have various kind of snacks and entrees, stuff to eat before the show, that kind of thing. Set to you if you buy any. It's kind of the kind of what they're selling varies a bit. Some things are sweetmeats. There's a few caramelized insects that seem to be popular with the reptilian part of the audience. There's even a few kind of walking around with bottles of wine. They seem to be handing glasses out. But as the kind of evening wears on, eventually one of the guards actually will walk out into the center of the stage, and he'll kind of rap or stamp on the floor to kind of create a bit of noise and gather everyone's attention. Ladies and gentlemen, we all welcome you to Mazoth's theater. Tonight, you will witness the extraordinary. Please, this is not for the faint of heart. If you are of weak disposition, we recommend you leave now. Consider yourself warned. And as he kind of and as he kind of walks off the stage, this kind of music begins, this kind of low drumming. It seems to be occurring somewhere off stage, or perhaps even under the stage. Yareth, I mean, I'm not going to make you roll, but I mean, again, that seems to be general hyping up. It's not necessarily anything circumspect about that in and of itself. Now, another kobold will kind of walk out into the center, and in the middle of the theater, they will place this chair. And kind of a elderly human noble. They're kind of dressed in pretty fine robes, so you imagine they've dressed up for the occasion. Will make their way into the middle of the stage and will sit in the chair. And after a kind of tense pause, a flash of smoke will appear a little to the noble human's left, and kind of emerging out of the smoke will come this figure. It's difficult to tell what exact race they are at this distance. They seem to be human or elf. Kind of what they're wearing is covering a lot of the things that might make them a bit more distinct as their exact race. They're wearing a headdress. It's kind of black fur, kind of heads down from his head to kind of halfway down his back, kind of in a... It almost looks like hair, but obviously it's too thick, and it's decorated with runes and sigils. So it's clearly, is at least supposed to look arcane or mystical in nature. He has a staff, and at the end of the staff there is a. It looks like a little figurine of a person, and they've kind of got their arms stretched wide, and kind of from their outstretched hands there are what appear to be small bolts of kind of some sort of energy, and this little figurine is kind of depicted in this black metal. Behold, I am Mazoth. I welcome you all here tonight to my theatre, where you will witness the extraordinary. We have all been told or taught by our mothers and fathers that death is but a part of life, that it is inevitable, and that it should not be feared. I reject this notion. Why should we die? What is its purpose? This fellow, my lord, is a man of similar vision. But alas, due to his advancing age, it would seem as if death's cold grip must soon be upon him. But I say no. I stand here, ever vigilant. I stand, and I repulse death. I reject him and all of his notions. So, if you will permit me, I will stave off death's cold embrace from our fine lord. Will kind of appear out from his robes. As he kind of uses them, they will emit sparks or fire. And it kind of it seems to be played up. Phoenix and I can roll me Arcana. Yeah,
and also Phoenix would be switching between his and Moat's sight, whichever has the best view of whatever Mazoth is doing.
I mean, he'll be like kind of moving around the stage. So sometimes he'll be like, there'll be the head in the way or whatever, stuff like that.
Okay, no, I'm going to use an inspiration on that.
All right. I mean, Phoenix, some of it looks realistic. You're not entirely sure. Yareth, however, you recognize a lot of the things he's doing. It's 100% being bigged up for showmanship. Putting that there, it probably wouldn't set on fire. Oh, yes, that was prestidigitation sparks. It wouldn't normally do that. But what he's doing, while you might not necessarily understand it, it definitely seems to be 100% real magic.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, kind of over the course of 10-15 minutes, during which he'll kind of narrate a bit more in kind of same vein about repulsing death. He will lay out these components and they will form a circle around the noble. And eventually Mazoth will kind of fall to his knees, kind of facing him, and he will kind of press his face into the floor. And from here you start to hear words. Words are the kind that none of you understand. They are like no language you ever heard, no arcane forms any of you ever heard.
Even with comprehend languages?
Even with comprehend languages. And as he speaks, he starts low and slow. But as his enchanting comes louder, more determined, more forceful, he will kind of raise his head. And eventually he will be in a fully upright position with his hands held up to the sky. A crackling black energy will appear in his left hand, and then it will transfer to his right, leaving a bolt kind of crackling between them. And this bolt will kind of reach out to the various components, and then it will move among them in a particular way that it will seem to form several sigils, using the components to kind of dot by dot them out. Yareth, you're 24 in Arcana. Something seems to be happening that you don't think is part of whatever ritual this is he's performing. One of the sigils, from the crackling black energy, there starts to rise a small amount of black smoke. And then, as the chanting continues, it gets thicker and thicker until everyone can see this. One of the runes is billowing smoke like a particularly large fire. It's kind of gathering in the kind of top of the tent. You don't think this is part of the ritual. And as you catch Mazoth's eye, you notice a stutter in his speech as he seemingly notices this. But he carries on.
Gareth will whisper to Phoenix, and actually, no, he doesn't need to whisper. He will slowly. I keep forgetting that he has this. We'll use Awakened Mind one by one, going down the line, just basically going, I think something's gone wrong, chaps. Just be aware that something might be happening and we might have to interfere to help people. Don't do anything yet, though, and we'll do that to everyone. Down the line, so Phoenix, Fleet, Althea, Urashi.
All right.
Phoenix is just still intently focused on the ritual.
Yeah.
Ashley is not subtle. She turns to you and frowns at you. It's
Right.
a confused frown.
As Urashi turned and frowned, being the last one to be spoken to, from the center of each of these sigils written in this black crackling energy will rise a dark red orb, seemingly comprised of magical energy, and these will drift towards the noble. And when they're about 2-3 foot away from him, they will start to rotate, twisting around him. At first slowly, until eventually they kind of are moving so fast that it's impossible to differentiate them anymore. And it seems like there's a glowing red ring circling around him. This ring will start to shrink, or get closer and closer and closer to him. And he'll kind of eventually start seeming to phase inside of his body. you're a bit far away, but you can swear he seems to be starting to sweat and breathe quite heavily. Yarth, you also are able to pick out the detail that it seems like the ring is closing in on roughly where his heart would be, so kind of slightly to the left of his upper chest. And eventually this ring will close, and he will kind of get out a yell of pain, and he will kind of collapse to the floor. At this point, Mazoth will step forward and kind of pick up his arm, kind of almost artfully, shielding him with kind of his robe so you can't see his face. But then eventually, Mazoth will kind of stand back, and he will hold the noble up to the world. And it seems as if it has worked. This noble, you reckon he was probably mid-60s? He doesn't look a day over 45. His wrinkles have kind of receded. His beard has gone from grey to kind of more salt and pepper. As far as you're aware, this is gone entirely according to plan. And Yarth and Phoenix, you didn't pick out any tomfoolery. However, as the audience starts to applaud and cheer at the incredible success, the smoke you noticed kind of filling the top of the tent, it starts to move. Kind of much like the kind of glowing orbs did, it starts to spin slowly at first until it's kind of it's almost like a hurricane kind of centered around the noble. So at this point he will yell, shout out again, and you notice a line start to form from his forehead, and it kind of passes down his face, kind of bisecting his nose over his mouth. And it kind of, as it goes down his neck, starts at his clothes also start to tear in half. As it makes its way down his body, his kind of top will kind of split in two and slough off his body, and you see this line is now down his chest. He shouts out in pain, and Mazoth will kind of step back, kind of, clearly not recognizing what's going on. And the noble will split in half down this line. His body will tear in two, and kind of both sides will kind of flop to the floor. From the ooze, kind of the viscera that was once the noble will start to bubble. At this point, Mazoth is backing off to the very edge of the stage and kind of molding out of the noble this boiling, awful, what was once a human, will start to form these wretched figures. As they kind of solidify, they seem to be kind of little, they kind of got white skin, and they seem to be like cut all over, and they've got nasty little teeth. But as these are forming, the kind of whirlwind of smoke up ahead will get faster and faster, and Yarth, you can feel the energy in this. And kind of appearing from it are these steeds that are seemingly made of shadow, with fire through a mane. And they will kind of descend out of this whirlwind. And it's at this point the crowd starts to panic. And as these otherworldly entities kind of take stock of their surroundings, I am going to call that an initiative, please.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Phoenix
I'm ready for a fight.
Phoenix is on his feet at this point.
For a fight.
Oh yeah.
I think we all are.
As you have noticed earlier, in all of your journals, you will have an access to a particular guard. Which guard you are is denoted by the color on your token. So obviously Urashi is red, so she is
that's
with
cool.
the red token. So they already rolled their initiative, but you'll be taking their turns just so I don't have to manage a butler.
Everything.
Are they on our side?
Yes. I
can't
wouldn't
1v1
really give you
myself.
control of the
Disappointing.
enemies. That would be a
Oh.
bit.
Yeah.
Right, so is that everybody?
Yeah.
So just to confirm, we're
Mhm.
attacking the horse boys, the blob boys, and
Yes.
this dude?
I don't.
He is torn in half.
Yeah, I think he's dead.
Okay, he's dead. So the blob
It's
boys.
his bubbling
horse
corpse from
boys.
which these little boys kind of emerged.
Hell yeah.
Mazoth is seemingly backing up in
Yeah.
tremendous fear.
And we are not fighting Mazoth.
I mean, that's very much your choice.
I'm saying we are not fighting Mazoth.
Yeah, we're catching Mazoth. I
Uh,
don't want to know what the hell happened here.
that's the wrong music. Yareth, it is your turn.
Cool.
What do?
What do? Which protection spell do I want to get on myself? Yeah, so Yareth will stand up and in doing so just tap his chest and cast mirror image.
Mhm.
And from one Yareth, sort of thump, thump, 3 illusionary duplicates of Yareth appear in the same sort of space as him.
Nice.
And he will then just start running in. So
We'll call that ninja because you don't know which one you are.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Because I'd have
We're not
gone
25
like
there.
that.
Yeah, we would have. We tried.
You're not muted, Lumie.
Doesn't fit.
Is that your whole turn?
Yes.
Cool. Urashi.
Urashi time. I am going to. I would rage, but I've got to do some moving first. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah.
Sod it, I'll chuck a javelin at something. Why not? I'll chuck a javelin at that horse.
Cool. It's the 30-foot long range for a javelin, right?
I think
Short
so.
range, yeah.
I think I'm within range.
Yeah,
aren't I?
19
Personal.
will definitely hit. Roll
Nice.
Demagios, please.
Oh, that's a bit shit.
7.
Oh well. And then
Right.
yeah, I'm just vibing. Although,
Cool.
should I enter my
Yeah,
rage
so
now,
kind of-
or should I wait till the start of my next turn?
I would wait because there's no guarantee
it's
you're
up to
gonna
you.
get hit.
Yeah, I don't want to waste it. Okay, cool. I'll wait.
Yeah, so javelin kind of sinks into the side of the shadowy horse, and it'll kind of rear up in pain, and it will issue what would kind of, well, for a regular horse, it would be a whinny, but this is kind of a demented roar almost.
Nice.
Fire horse the first. Who's he near to? Yeah, he's just going to head for the nearest guard and do an attacky whack.
That's my guard.
16 hit your guard.
Yeah.
Cool. He takes 16 damage.
Oh,
18
Jesus.
damage.
Is he dead?
It
I mean,
rolled quite good
almost.
damage.
That is 18. Oh, wow.
Would these guys fight to the death, the guards?
So there's going to be a lot more. There'll be like lots more of the little guys as well, and they'll be kind of attacking commoners and stuff. So we'll say so there's other guards again. We're attacking them. So we'll just taking this as a microcosm the part that you're involved with. And
Okay.
after that, we will call your guards, kind of ones who are willing to put up with it, because there are a lot more behind them who will theoretically help, even if in the actual context of the battle they won't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking you to RP the guards.
Yeah.
That'd be a little unfair. Right, that's Shadow Horse's turn. It is now your guard's turn.
Cool. He will try and use a bite and a mace on this
Sure.
creature.
11 will not hit. 13 will hit, though.
Cool. 6 bludgeoning damage. That's max damage for this dude. I think. No, it's not. Okay.
No, it's D6 plus 2. Yes, so he
Okay.
kind of whacks into the side of it, and it'll kind of scream in its face. He's probably looking a bit scared. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Is that his whole turn?
I believe so. There's not really much else you can do.
Fleety Wheat.
Fleet. He's, doing a little bit of that panic thing. Cause what the fuck can I do here? Very far away from everything.
By the way, these are initiative guys in the top. They're not actually there.
What does Fleet do? I think Fleet is just gonna hop straight down into the center and
Sure. Kind of run across the top of the benches as people kind of flooding the other way. You kind of force your way through them.
I think I want to dash. I think I'm just gonna hang out here and take the dodge action. But
Sure.
a little bit harder to hit.
All right. Other horsey wars, they rolled quite good on initiative.
That's scary.
It will seemingly bypass Mazoth and will head straight for Fleet.
Which is suspicious.
That is a natural 1 to hit.
Does not hit.
No. All right, Phoenix.
Yeah, he's going to stand up, kind of move out into the aisle, so he's got a bit of a better shot at things. Quick assessment. Need to talk to Mazoth. And, I think, does this have any... Yeah, he'll tap his staff on the ground, and as he does, it'll, like a spark will kind of ignite, even though it's like wood. And that spark will grow and grow and grow and grow, and then eventually just a flaming sphere will appear there.
Cool. Swoosh. There we go. As you can tell, I am a big artist. Okay, so what needs to be done?
It depends. As a DM, it says I can move it as a bonus action and ram it into creatures. Can I ram it diagonally and try and hit the nightmare and this blob? Or would it have to be cardinal directions?
I'd say... Hang on, bring up this spell.
No, I don't want to cast it. There it is.
Right. Yeah, I would say it's kind of it has to, so it moves into a specific square, and that's it. Ramming.
Okay, then he rams it into the blob creature because a flaming horse probably isn't going to take much damage from fire.
All right. So that's a dex saving throw for the little blob dude, right?
It is indeed.
Dex save. Wow. Well,
Does it take half damage or
half damage on a successful one? Yes.
Half of the success. All right.
Okay, cool. It still takes 2 fire damage.
Whoosh.
That's fine. I've got that as a bonus action now, and
It'll kind of squeal away from the heat. However, its flesh does blister a little, but probably not as much as you might expect it to.
Okay, so that's action, bonus action, bit of movement. Yeah, he's just trying to survey the battlefield, and Moat's gonna fly down onto Fleet's shoulder, provide the help action by kind of flitting in front of the Nightmare's eyes.
All right. Althea's friend's turn, or guard's turn.
I can control this scout because I also have the scout sheet. Just so
You
Matt
can't
isn't
control the
controlling
group.
4 characters.
I mean, sure. Yeah, okay, sure, if you want to. That's fine.
Scout's gonna take a step back because we have ranged option, and Scout is going to shoot the horse twice. That's a
Your
GM roll.
Ron GM, but that is a 13, which will hit,
And a 22.
which will also hit.
For maximum and minimum damage.
I mean, it averages out.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
pretty good.
Anything else?
See, that was just another 5 feet back. I think this longbow is going to be effective at a distance.
Cool. Althea.
Yeah, as kind of Fleet zooms past her on the chair, she's going to kind of reach forward and go, and kind of stumble forward over these chairs. Be safe! And she's going to upcast Bless. So Urashi, Fleet, Yareth, and Phoenix will all get a Bless.
Sure.
Ooh.
She's concentrating, and y'all now blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
We let her to bless.
I believe that is a fair assessment to like the bless.
And then as a bonus action, she will say, you didn't quite get close enough, Urashi, but you'll do it! And Urashi will be inspired.
Sure.
I don't know if it's great or it's terrifying that your Nat impression is, like, spot on.
It is really concerning.
Alright. Third and final fire horse will make its way towards this fellow, this poor lizard folk, and it's going to whack it with its hooves. No, we're not. Cool. Alright. As ever, I'm rolling amazing for my villains.
Scout number 2 is gonna
Scout number 2, which is controlled by Britty.
do a very similar thing and step the hell back, because big horses, big scary. And same as the first, is going to shoot the horse, but a different horse this time.
Alright.
Shot number 1, shot number 2.
One hit.
For minimum damage again.
Now you know how it feels.
I understand. I know the pain. And again, just another 5 feet back. Just trying to stay
Sure.
a little farther away from the combat.
Cool. Mazoth is going to kind of stumble back, going in panic. Yeah, that's all he's going to do this turn.
Which is appreciated.
So it's the pink Gribbly's turn. This one
There
will
are so many of them.
attack the orc. No, they're not very good. That's why there's a lot of them. This one will.
I know.
It can't get anywhere this turn, so it's going to dash to engage Fleet and Urashi because it's stupid apparently. This one will move into the middle as well. It will whack Fleet first because it's advantage. Because it's flanking.
But it's also
That'll
a
be a
disadvantage.
19 to whack Fleet.
But it is a 19 and that hits. God
Cool.
damn it.
That is 3 damage. Then final boy will he's just dash, so he's engaging Yareth. It's the Orc Guard, controlled by Lumie.
Was that on purpose?
Hello.
Yes.
Ready. Obviously, bro. Unleash my orc vibes. Orc vibes are dumb, so he's just gonna whack the thing in front of him.
Sure.
Axe. Aw. Does a 14 hit?
14 will hit. These things are not quick. They seem
Yes.
very easy to hit and very squishy.
Oh, yes.
You've given
That's a good
Lumie a
roll.
That is
second
one
great
squish
axe.
thing.
What have you done?
Yes. And then he goes round to flank there.
Hey, yeah, can you be keeping track of which
I don't know
ones?
if he has to stand there or there to flank,
For your
but
medallion,
he's
please.
somewhere around there.
Sorry, what was that?
Can you keep a track of how many things die within 30 feet of your medallion, please?
Oh, of course, yes.
Oh no.
For the record, have to stand there to get flanking. Just be directly opposite. Last lizardy boy.
Yeah, he's got a horse in front of him, so he's just gonna go for a bite and a mace.
Cool.
Yeah, I have to do each one with a different target. So
Hit. 5.
Does a 19 hit?
Yes, 19 will hit. These horses do not seem the hardest to hit.
You will have a chomp.
I think you've cursed to these sheets, Ferret. I feel like we're not rolling very high damage.
That's not my problem. Yeah, so he seemingly bites into the side of it and kind of tears off a chunk of shadow and kind of just coughs as he kind of disintegrates in his mouth. All right. Last Gribbly guys. Okay. Let me do some measuring. Okay. This will move to engage scale. This will move in that direction. And cool. These two will also dash just to get in range for future turns. Yareth.
Right. Well, the intention was not to do punching things in this exact next fight, but there's a boy right in front of me. So we're gonna try and punch it.
All right.
With the power of savagery.
11 will hit.
Sweet.
Thank goodness.
For
As I say,
3
they don't seem hard to hit. Or
3 acid damage.
Yeah, the acid will kind of away from it. Yeah, definitely didn't appreciate it.
Good.
Is that it?
That will be Yareth.
Cool. Urashi.
Yeah, Ash is getting ready to do some bash.
All right. Bashi.
Bish bash bosh.
This thing in front of me, I feel like Fleet's got it, to be honest. Boss seems scary.
Yara, do remember that you are
So,
blessed.
I would
Thank
say
you.
the big fire horses seem scary. That would
okay,
be
the fire horse
probably
seems
be Urashi's
scarier, right?
instinct.
Yeah, cool. In that case, I will happily risk an attack of opportunity from the blobs.
Okay, both of them.
Well, it's going to have to be, innit? I will
Right.
rage first,
Okay,
and then I'll be around there.
be a 16 and a 14.
16 hits, the 14 misses.
Cool. That is 4 damage.
Oh, half to 2. Goodness me, how will I ever survive? And then... do I do the thing? Do I do the thing?
I don't know. Do you do the thing?
I mean, you've got advantage. I would do the
Alright.
thing.
I have advantage.
You have
now.
You have
advantage
to be
and
standing there
bless.
to get
Do the
flanking,
thing.
because it's directly opposite.
I have
have
to
to
be
be
standing
standing.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool. I'm there then.
Yep.
You have advantage and
and
bless.
then-
Do the thing.
Oh, yes. Oh, I don't know if that will
You are
hit it,
blessed
but
as well,
let's
but it
see.
doesn't matter. You hit.
Yeah!
You hit anyway.
Oh, yes!
Oh,
Ouch.
man, barbarians.
You take a big old chunk out of this thing, and it's definitely got your attention now. Or you definitely got his attention now.
She
Did you take-
growls at it.
Did you take the 5 off the attack roll for the Great Weapon Master?
It should have done it automatically. I think it did it. I've got the thing set up. I've got the damage modifier on.
Yeah,
The
the damage
attack
modifier's
modifier,
on, but
we should have.
the
Okay, that's a 10 to hit, which would
With
miss.
extra
Roll your
dice.
bless.
Oh my
Yeah,
bless.
but you got the bless.
Yeah, so roll your
Come
bless.
Right for
on.
a-
Oh, fuck's sake.
Okay, you don't hit it,
Ah,
Oh no!
unfortunately.
That's the curse of the Great Weapon Master.
Oh, I thought I already had the thing turned on, but I obviously didn't. Oh well, she
Alright.
growls at it anyway.
That's alright, it's the first time you're using it. There'll be a certain measure of forgiveness. Alright,
mistakes are allowed.
is that your whole turn?
I mean, I'm pretty much fucked now, so
Okay,
yeah.
so you'll need to make a save for the flaming sphere. So it'll be a deck save. With advantage.
Which I
because
have
you're
with
paying
advantage, because barbarians are bullshit.
Mhm.
And oh fuck.
I assume
still
that
blessed,
failed.
aren't I?
Yes.
Bless
Yes,
does
sir.
apply to your saves,
Well, hashtag blessed.
but I don't think it would
Oh,
even,
for God's sake,
even with a
Ash.
4.
No, that's unfortunately a fail.
Because that'll be 2d6 fire damage then.
Okay, Which
So
doesn't
3.
half, does it? Does it or does it? It does, doesn't it?
Oh no, it doesn't because I keep thinking of totem, but no, it's not halved. It's 6 damage.
Maybe don't end your turn right next to the giant flaming sphere.
Something to do next time.
Next
Big
time
old
I'll
fire
kill it.
horse. It's going to turn around and attack the orc because it has flanking. So it's going to whack it with 23 to hit your orc, Urashi. I assume that hits. Yes, it does.
Yeah, I think so.
So your orc takes 12 damage, 8 bludgeoning and 4 fire. But is the lizard folk's turn on the other side of it?
Cool. He will go for like he'd have to move
You have to move there
there.
to get flanking.
Yeah, he'll do that. Why not? He's a smart boy. Is my lizard folk? Sure, and go for a bite and a mace attack.
Wow.
Neither of them were hit, unfortunately.
Cool. This guy is
Is he
yeah.
Is he dead to you?
No, he's as good as Yareth is. That'll be him.
All right, Fleet.
Well, I'm now slightly more surrounded than I expected to be, which is concerning, to say the least.
You'll be fine, Fleet.
You are being helped to whack the shadow horse.
Yeah,
I'll back in a minute.
I will take the whack at advantage at the shadow horse. Just take my quarterstaff in both hands and just try and bring it down on a leg or something. Just
Oh, Fleet.
Something
That's a
that'll
big
hurt.
roll.
20 would definitely hit for 11. That's big damage from
Max
Fleet.
damage.
D8s are good. After that, Fleet is going to burn a key point, set her feet into the ground, and hold her staff in a defensive position, and go for patient defense. That
Cool.
means I have a +2 to my AC.
Yes,
And-
because of your fancy footwork
My cool fancy
given
shoes.
to you by your shoes. All right. To this fire horse's turn. I mean, one of you hit it. One of you it has advantage against. Sorry, Fleet.
That's fair. But it's also got disadvantage. So it's a straight roll.
11,
Which
I
this
believe will
is.
miss. Cool. It's staying there. It doesn't seem bothered about the fire orb next to it, Phoenix. And it's
Didn't
just
think it would be.
Understandably so.
I mean, the fire horse is not his immune to fire. Who would have guessed?
Certainly not me. Couldn't see this coming.
So yeah, bonus action would bring the ball of fire around there and slam it into the blob.
Cool.
On that side, so it would stay. It would.
Deck save for a blob. That's an 11
there.
for a blob.
It fails. Takes full damage.
4. Okay, half to 4 because it's resistant.
And the sphere is there now.
Thank you for not setting it close to me.
There you go.
Yeah, you're not within 5
Appreciate
feet of it. It's fine. And then action. Phoenix will kind of take the dwindling remains of that spark floating around his staff and just suck all the heat out of it.
Mhm.
Then just kind of flick that energy forward as a ray of frost at this one.
Cool.
That might hit.
23 will definitely hit. They're squishy.
I don't know, it's pretty close.
Too cold.
Okay, as it strikes into it, much like it seems to repel the effect of fire, it also seems to repel the effect of cold. You did 1 damage.
That's my
Nice.
fucking apple.
I am very sorry. All right, you doing anything else?
Moat will. I don't know. Yeah, Moat will stay where he is and continue to kind of harass the nightmare and give the aid action to Fleet.
Cool. Scout turn.
Scout is continuing to stay very safe.
Mhm.
Realizing that Yareth is probably 1, helping, and 2, in a bit of a spot with this blob in front of him, the scout is going to shoot at the blob first.
Cool.
For Pow and
13
Kapow.
will hit.
Mr. Crit!
10 will also hit.
Nice.
So,
For
these things are not hard to hit.
15 damage to the blob. Goodbye.
It will pop satisfactorily. It might get a bit over you, Gareth, but it will satisfy.
Anyone who's paying attention to the scout, they just do a very quiet fist bump because they never thought that they would be useful.
All right. Althea.
Yeah, she's going to kind of inch her way out of the seats and move forward to about there. Don't worry, just hang in there. And she will cast a healing word on this guard.
All right.
And he looks pretty hurt, so she's gonna she's gonna upcast that. For 7 healing.
She also gets +2 from life, I think.
Plus 3 because you upcasted it. That is 13.
Yeah, it's
10.
13 healing.
13. All right, that's a max health orc.
That was
Great.
great, Yareth. Keep doing that. And you're inspired.
Isn't that 2
See?
bonus actions?
Healing
Oh,
word
that is a bonus action, isn't it? In which case she will.
What will you do with your action that you can't use a spell on?
She will take the dodge action.
All right. Fire Horse number 3 will move to flank and will whack Mr. Lizardman, Lizard Folk. 19, which I believe hits.
Yep.
So that would be 20 damage in total.
Ouch!
Yeah.
Is it dead?
Oh, I ain't looking too good.
He's not
He's
dead.
yet.
The hero.
Scout number 2, you got a main blob in your face.
Yes, Scout number 2, not happy about the blob, is gonna put the bow back, pull out a short sword, and take 2 swipes at it to just say, please go away. Swipey. I don't think a 5 will hit.
I like the nat 1, nat 20.
That seems to be the story of my life. That is 5 damage to the blob.
In annoyance as it gets slashed.
And seeing as how these things are decently slow, and hopefully now having drawn a bit more of a threat marker, the scout is going to move away and basically taunt them, saying, "Come chase me."
Okay, it will opportunity attacker. So that'll be a 19 to hit.
19 does hit.
So that'll be max
Ow!
damage. 8. Of course, I roll max damage against the NPC.
Ow! For
Alright.
Scout. That is the scout's turn.
Cool. Mazoth, he will back up a bit more, and he'll kind of look over there. He sees it's struggling a bit over there. Going to kind of cast a spell on the other fire horse. Will he hit? Yes, he will hit. Okay. So kind of a dark cloud appears around the fire horse, and it seems to be moving slower, and its strikes seem to have less force.
Nice.
It is now enfeebled. We'll just go with that. Okay, pink blobs. How many pink blobs are left? We've got 2 pink blobs left.
I wonder who they're going to hit.
I mean,
It is at
12
advantage,
right
but it
there.
is also at disadvantage.
Cool. So
Wait,
straight roll.
is it?
Yes, they cancel out, but it doesn't matter. They're all awful.
Well, thank goodness.
Is there another pink blob or they're all dead? I think they're all dead. Urashi's orc.
Yeah, because I've only taken 1 turn. I was very I was like trying to keep up with the battle. Ugh.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Turns taking longer. Urashi, your orc.
gonna come do some orc things, and by that I mean it's gonna pop the fire horse.
Okay.
Whack. Yes.
Oh my
Not.
god.
Oh yes.
23 will definitely hit. Oh yes, it's a crit
got- it's
because there's
got the crit.
flanking.
I don't
That
know how to
is-
make it roll the crit though.
It will roll the crit
Just click
automatically.
that.
automatically.
I'll
Click it
auto roll
twice,
it.
right?
I'll auto roll it. No. So that's 26 damage.
Is that auto rolled the crit?
It has.
Okay. Cool.
It's shown you up. I'll
Yeah,
put
it
like
has.
that.
This orc is a legend.
That is 26 damage from an NPC orc. What a hero.
Yeah, boy.
And that
That's my
is-
orc.
Okay, it rolled 2d12. That's a 12 and 11 on the 2d12.
Yeesh.
Oh, God. Ash, come on. You've got to get yourself covered.
Alright, is that his turn?
Seems to be, yeah. He's just
Cool.
vibing.
Orange lizard folk.
Yeah, he's gonna. It's pretty hurt. He's gonna turn around and lash out viciously at the blob behind it.
I also like to point out that while you feel free to kill them, they're also not suicidal.
I mean, surrounded. Very
That might
difficult
get
to get
fighter.
away.
I mean, I'm more than happy for you to let him go down in flames. Who are you attacking?
The man is.
Alright, yeah, that'll hit. 4, yeah, they'll whack. And 3, cool. You almost finishes off the mob, but not quite.
Just hisses at it.
Alright. These guys, I mean, right back at you, mate. Oh my god.
Yeah,
He's got 2 HP, doesn't have to be crits.
he goes down in style.
Goes down to a
3
crit.
hits damage, and that is a dead guard.
What a hero.
No, he's on death saves, man.
He is not important enough to be on death saves.
He is to
Then
outplay it.
let's start moving on. They aren't the smartest, so they will just keep dashing in an attempt to tie up this gap. So, boop, boop. Only more. 1, 2, 3. Yes, the other one on this other side of the orc. We'll whack the orc. No. Yareth.
Cool. Well, that one's been dealt with, which is good. So let's move a little bit round. To there, and we will conjure up a little bit of an eldritch blast at this big horsey boy.
All right.
I think eldritch blast.
On Yareth.
Yeah, eldritch blast.
Let's go, Yareth!
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
6 force damage.
Whack that boy.
All right. Do anything else?
No, I'm good.
Cool. Urashi. You've been shown up.
Urashi
you know
has
what you have
been
to do.
seriously shown up.
Uh,
She's going to go for a whack and hope for the best.
all right.
Come on,
Master
lass.
already?
A regular whack or a great weapon master whack?
Oh
Well, then.
my god!
All
Oh
right. 21 will
no!
hit.
Oh no!
Crits brutally. It's just, it's a good night to crit as an orc. Is that like your 3rd crit of the evening?
Yes, it is! You get another d12 on top of that.
Yeah,
Because you're
because
an
you're
orc.
brutal.
You
Oh my
crit
God.
brutally.
29. Roll another d8.
Also the
A
d12.
D12, you mean?
d12, sorry, yes. Sorry.
Just take your extra d12.
God.
Bad lad.
Oh, and
Okay.
doesn't she get another attack? She gets
level
another
5.
melee
You
attack.
can make
Oh,
another
yes, you do,
melee
sorry, yes,
as
the
a
bonus
bonus
action.
action, yes.
How are you murderizing the first fire horse?
And decapitating it, and I.
And it
Yeah, so you kind of mighty swing. You're kind of
Yeah.
you hear the crunch. It's almost more like metal than bone, not metal, glass. as you kind of swipe through it and kind of cracks, and the head will kind of smash into the floor and kind of dissipate, and the body will kind of just leak, and it'll kind of just disappear. That is one dead flaming horse.
Excellent. Let me double check something.
You can move before you make this attack, so if you want
I know. I'm just checking something out. Sam, Eric, I'm going to get this right eventually. My item that the gods gave me.
Yeah. Can be
It
activated
says-
at any time.
So it doesn't cost an action or anything to activate.
Nope, it's 3 action.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh.
I don't even
I'm
understand what
terrified.
it is, but
Right,
I'm
I activate
concerned.
the thing. So I'll make those changes. And
Right, what does it look like?
Ash sort of crosses her arms in front of her. Oh no, that's like the Black Panther salute. I can't do that.
And if you want to, Black Panther doesn't exist in this world.
Ash just she reaches her arms out slightly oddly. She flexes her left hand as she stretches down with her axe, and the braces she is wearing appear to twist and grow almost into her arms. It's like a sort of vine-like brambly growth coming from them. Doesn't seem to bother her. And on this occasion,
Okay, I'd like to point out that her maximum hit point has been reduced by amount equal to 11.
yeah, I mean
So
it
it
hurts,
does bother
but she
her.
doesn't mind, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some, I guess, some blood or something on her arm now.
Yeah.
And I am going to choose, on this occasion, to use
Mhm.
Adrenaline Overdrive, which gives me an additional 10 foot of movement. So I run 40 foot
You-
to this
You
guy.
can also pick another one, because your provision bonus is 2, so you can pick a second.
Oh, I can pick 2?
ability.
In
Yeah.
that case, that one.
Choose abilities from this list equal to your provision modifier.
Mm,
Like a kid in a candy shop. Jesus.
And I'm going to choose Dishonorable Techniques as well as the other one.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I'm not quite flanking this one, am I?
No.
Okay, so no advantage there.
You
Ah.
could reckless.
I can reckless attack, which is what I'm going to do.
You got a great weapon
So I'm
master
gonna-
again?
I'm going to reckless attack with Great Weapon Master.
Alright.
Yes, girl.
Yes.
You're not even adding the
Okay.
bless in there either. Oh my god.
This does some weird shit. If that attack hits, I can
Yep.
knock it prone. So I'm going to knock the horse prone as I do this.
Yep.
And then
So you're
Whack
knocked to its
damage.
knees as you walk into it.
whack damage, and I also get to punch it
Yes.
as a free action because I do.
Jesus, what have you given the barbarian?
Yes, that would hit.
Does my rage damage still applies to that, right? Or does it not?
Any
Yes,
strength-based
it's melee.
weapon. Pretty sure.
No, it says it says a melee weapon attack, which isn't. I'll take
Oh,
that
fair
off.
enough.
And there's an extra
So,
5.
So that's...
And the horse, I
Mm.
punched the horse over.
23. Cool.
God, this is cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so Urashi just lays into this this second fire horse and it kind of knocks it to its knees. All right, is that your whole turn?
Yes, thanks, DM.
Barrett, I'm not sure you understand the power that you've just given this barbarian.
No, I am fully aware.
Oh man.
I mean, what I've given all of you is quite powerful, to be fair.
True.
Okay, it will stand up using half its movement. Someone just whacked it for a lot of damage. So it's going to turn to you, Urashi, and attack you.
With advantage.
So that would be 20 to hit.
Yeah, it hits. Do I care? No.
Cool.
You might.
So that will be... so it's half because it's enfeebled, so that is 6
Reduced
half
to
to
3.
3 bludgeoning, plus 6 fire, because that's not halved.
So it's 9, yeah?
Yes. You lose 9 now.
I'm fine.
I mean, it's just staying there. Lizardy boy.
The one who isn't dead. Your boy, Yareth.
That's my Lizardy boy. Yes, sorry. He's sort of in Urashi, like everyone is, so we'll move around a little bit to flank with her,
Sure.
and we'll bite a
Flank
mace.
with me, bro. They were hit once with the mace.
Cool. 6 bludgeoning.
Oh yeah, it's piling in. This fire horse ain't looking so sharp anymore. All right.
Yeah, that's him.
Well, after watching this fiery horse get its head ripped off by Urashi, and then just watching her sprint off to the other horse, Fleet's going to consider that one taken care of. So we're going to start with dealing with these guys.
Got advantage on the first hit.
Yes, Moat is still helping me out, so I'm going to take...
Doesn't help action be against a specific enemy?
Is it?
So
Yeah, I was...
the horse, right?
I think the help actions just help with a specific thing, so it's help with the next.
I believe helping with an attack is different. I believe you declare a specific enemy you're giving advantage against. That is how I remember the rule.
You're the DM, it's your ruling.
Check that for you now. If my page will load.
Alternatively, you can aid a friendly creature in attacking a creature within 5 feet of you. Yeah, so you target, so you pick an enemy, and then the next ally to attack it has advantage.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
It's like Guiding Bolt, but without the
not very helpful.
46.
Yeah, so.
Alright, so I will not thwack an
Whack the
advantage.
lobby boys.
I'm gonna hit this guy with my
Cool.
staff first.
You hit top blob. Top blob dies.
Whack. Bonus action, I'm going to... Yeah, I'm gonna flurry of blows. A whirling motion, just bring my hand back and smack him across the face with my fist. Hope I get 12 hits.
Yes, it does.
For thwack damage.
It had 7 HP left, so yeah.
Damn it, I wasted the flurry.
You strike right, strike left, and you just double destroy 2 blobs. Much like, if you get covered in slightly nasty stuff.
Considering that horse is now moving in the vicinity of people, Fleet is going this direction towards the horse. That will be Fleet's.
I think so. Say at this point, the commoners aren't where they are on the map. They've all run away.
Okay, good.
They're just there for decoration.
This is the best entertainment they've ever had.
Just
All the
still
worst.
eating their popcorn, having a great time.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
I've had the time of my life.
And I never felt this way before.
It's canon. This is what the entire audience is singing right now.
I
At
swear.
this point, it's probably just going to set the
This is
tent on
true.
fire, so Phoenix will drop concentration on the flaming sphere.
Sure.
Can't move in any way useful at the moment.
Oh,
And these creatures seem annoyingly resistant to it, so he's...
That is slightly unfortunate.
I know, new toys. Didn't get to use them. Gonna start moving in this direction. As he moves, he's going to flick the diamond into his hand, suck away all the cold air, so it's just hot, dry heat until it's unbearable, and then bolt of lightning from a chromatic orb at... Yeah, she's... I can actually see her health bar. Is she at like half health or really low health?
She's at half health.
Still, I'll try and yeah, I'll aim at this one.
Sure. Uh, 13 more hit. Roll damage. This is lightning damage, yes?
Yep.
Perhaps they don't resist lightning. Oh my god!
Hey. You kill it because you are high enough, but this thing is resistant to 3 types of damage: cold, fire, and lightning. Those are 3 types of damage you've thrown at them. This way.
Okay,
my
we are
God.
learning. We are learning. That's the important thing.
Hey,
It is
damage!
dead. Only a 9 HP, so you still kill it, but it's just funny.
I just overkill it.
Yeah. All right.
It's just like,
Jingus.
fucking resist this.
All right. Is that your turn?
And Moat will just fly up to the top of the tent, avoiding. Is there still like that black swirling cloud, or is that fully coalesced into nightmares now?
It's seemingly faded.
Okay, yeah. So
There's
Moat will,
like
just go,
wisps left, but it's
Moat
mostly
will just go hide in the rafters.
fire horses. Cool. Scout. One at the bottom.
My other scout friend is trouble, so I'm gonna start off with one shot. Guy giving her trouble.
It will have cover because you're shooting through a person.
Well, then I will move so it has less cover.
The commoner's not there, so there's no cover. Definitely will hit.
For minimum damage.
At 4 HP.
Alright, seeing that it's still up, another shot. Which I don't think hits.
9 hits. They have an AC of 9. They're easy to hit and they're very squishy.
For much bigger damage, it is now dead. That was 20 feet of movement, so now getting ready to deal with these last 2 horses, stepping more into the fray.
Cool. Althea.
Oh dear. And she's going to action dash to. That's her turn.
All right.
Actually, you can't. Yeah, So she's going to bonus action healing word this down lizard folk. Even if he's not important to you, Ferret, it's important to Althea.
Hey, so, all right. Roll me luck to see if he's dead and it doesn't work, or if he's bleeding out. All right. Yeah, he was bleeding out. So roll them Healy dues. That's plus another 3.
Yeah, it's her
Because it's
proficiency
not
bonus, isn't it?
So, no, it's 2 plus level of the spell. So that's 7 in total. So he's up to 7.
Oh, in which case that orc from earlier actually got 4 extra hit points because she upcast that to level 2. But
yeah, I counted that. All right. Fire horse's turn.
the lizard is quite carefully still playing dead.
I mean, yeah, not been its turn. It's on the floor.
Lizard folk know how to survive. It's in their lore.
It'd be cruel to attack Althea, and you're equidistant, so it's going to flee.
Fair.
It's going to work with its hooves. 24
will hit. Ow.
Cool. That is poor damage. 11. As soon as I'm
Still
actually
11,
attacking with the
still
DPs, I roll
hurts.
poor damage.
Still hurts.
2 on DP6.
Took me half HP.
Yeah, I rolled 2 and 2d6. Dear. Anyway, other scout.
Other scout, now a little bit more free from blobs, will shoot the horse.
All right.
Thwacky.
Double it.
Thwacky and thwacky. 16 damage.
Yeah, I don't think a bow is thwacky. I think
Well,
we can draw
the
the
bow
line.
itself is
Bows are not
thwacky, but the arrows are more thunky. But thunky doesn't have the same ring to it as thwacky.
I don't know. It's pretty thunky beat as it works into it. Anyway, it's clearly too tired for me to be DMing. I'm making bad jokes. All right, Mazoth's turn. Then the horse broke 3 of his spell, but it's almost certainly dead. He will just... Yeah, he's just going to try and finish this one off with a rare sickness, which will miss. Great job.
Nice.
Pink boys. Are there any pink boys left?
No, I think we took care of them all.
Okay, pink boys are dead, so I'll get rid of the initiative one. Urashi's orc friend, who is no longer showing her up after that crit.
Still has a chance of showing her up if he crits again.
I mean, I guess.
You can do it. I
Could be
believe in it.
excessive because it. Lumie.
Oh, it's time for my orc to have some fun.
Your other one.
Yeah, the other orc.
I mean,
Urashi's half an orc. Come on.
I don't want the orc to steal
guy is
Urashi's
all
kill. So the orc is going to turn round and punch the blob boy.
All right.
Punch it with its great axe, yes.
I definitely hit.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
He's a good orc.
God, great axes are just so good.
Pop
Oh,
goes the
gonna
blob
be-
boy.
AFK for like 2 seconds.
Lizard Folk the second, who has just woken up.
God, yes. And then he will, I guess he'll just go over here and make a big distraction so his lizard friend doesn't die.
Sure. Okay, second Lizard Folk who's just been saved by Althea. I believe this is Phoenix's Lizard Folk.
Yeah, he's gonna drag himself to his feet. He looks pissed off. He's gonna run at this Manas from behind and take a mace.
Yeah, I hit. Pop! They pop quite satisfactorily. Is that all the little blowy boys?
At least
I
it
kind of
wasn't
stand
with
over it, panting,
Yes, that is all.
grinning this kind of vicious grin.
Cool. Mr. Lieb von Knucklestamp?
Hello. Let's just. Can I do something fun?
I don't know. Can you?
I think I can.
Said every English teacher ever.
We will fire a Eldritch Blast at the horse that Fleet is fighting.
Okay, currently is covered because you're shooting through feet, but it doesn't matter. Not with a hit roll like that.
Oh my god.
For 14 force damage.
Is that full? That is max.
That is max damage.
You can apply Althea's inspirations to damage.
You can.
Oh no, sorry, she's glamour. Never mind.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, you can. She's not a valid bard. Can't.
Yeah, and then as a bonus action, Yareth will just disappear from this point and teleport 30 feet to move here to flank with feet, with fists up, ready, and just shoots Fleet a cheerful grin.
Cool. Urashi.
Oh boy. Guess what?
It's horse time.
Whack time. I don't need to be reckless because I've got advantage anyway, haven't I?
Yes.
Yep, from the Lizard Folk.
Nice. I'm still going to great map and master it because it's worth it.
Because, you know, damage.
Okay.
I can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
that hit.
might hit. Take your
Sure,
24
good
damage and
advantage.
leave.
Wouldn't.
Oof.
So that's 22. Yeah, you did 3 times its amount of remaining HP. So,
Excellent.
are you killing us in the same way decapitation?
Yeah, why not?
Cool. Kind of slice it through and kind
And
of like.
then I
shut
have
it
got
first
to
or kind of
go.
like-
How far is this one away? Okay, let me check something. Okay. That's 7 foot. Okay, cool. So I go, because I can, 40 foot from where I am now, which I think takes me to about here. Chuck a javelin at the big guy.
All right.
Yeah, weapon attack is a bonus action. I never thought about chucking a javelin as a bonus action. That's genius. Yeet.
Wait. Yeah, because I killed the thing, so I can, can't I?
Yeah, you can. As far as I understand it, you can.
Oh,
12 will not
no.
hit you.
I'm still blessed though, aren't I?
Yes, you do get your D4.
Yeah.
And you are also inspired.
You're bardically inspired.
Ah, 15?
Yeah, definitely hit.
Chunk.
Not great, but it'll do.
I mean, it's a chunk.
Yeah.
Alright, this one's mine.
Lizard folk guard.
Well, I'm actually
Just
not sure I
leave
could have. Hang on, I'm not actually not sure I could have done that Because I think if I reduce a creature to 0 hit points, I only get a melee weapon attack as a bonus action. So I don't think I can
Alright.
do that.
It's your abilities.
Sorry.
No, that's right.
Ignore that. I just run over and I get the javelin poised, and then I change my mind.
He was like, nah, flute in the earth, I've got it.
Nah, a bit tired.
Alright, Guard. What do you...
Sorry, I was muted this entire time. He takes a dash action, moves 30 foot there, and then 20.
Cool.
Yeah, there.
The most fleet of foot.
With her very shiny and new knuckle dusters on, she just... You know that gif of Henry Cavill in that Mission Impossible movie where he just, like, literally arms his shoulders and just gets himself ready? We'll find
Cocks
it
his
eventually.
fists.
Yes, cocks his fists. That's what Fleet does, and then just proceeds to go, ham, for lack of a better word.
Sure.
Ham is a great word.
Right.
Ham is
Crit
a
on the
critical
first one
word.
for a big
Nah.
2 extra damage for 9. Bonus action, Flurry of Blows, because...
Oh, I meant to do. Hang on.
for another 9.
This is why you always clock your
I
fist.
find it's changing HP to 9, so it's a protracting 9.
So that's 9,
Yeah, they'll both
18,
hit.
24 total damage.
Ooh, and you've got knuckle dusters now, so all your attacks are magical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I'll get in a level
Yeah,
anyway,
the horse
but-
is starting to not look good.
He's not dead! No! With 2 crits, I couldn't kill him. Damn you, D4s. That will be my turn. I guess Fenix can take this one.
Oh, honey.
24 is roughly what Urashi did with a crit, so...
With
you know,
1
Yeah.
crit!
It's just Ash got like 3 attacks that turn, you know? It's easy to feel inadequate
Yeah, I
compared to that.
I did 3 attacks and I did as much as she did in 1.
It's okay, buddy. That's why I play a
I
barbarian.
can't wait till I get my D6s. That is my whole turn. Well, I believe that's my whole turn, as long as our DM has not died.
Ferret, you still there?
Uh-oh, have we lost our DM?
That's it, guys. We killed the DM. We win D&D.
Yeah, I
DM's
mean,
got anything can happen now.
look, we'll give him 15 minutes. If he's not back, we're legally allowed to level up again.
I like this rule.
What do I get at level 5?
It's the same joke every time, but it just hits every time.
Meanwhile, our loyal listeners, start thinking about who you'd like to grant your inspiration to.
Players think about this too, because I already know, but I know sometimes we spend a lot of time thinking about it.
Yeah, there's some interesting things happen this session, so let's just start thinking about it.
Yeah, a lot of crits.
Also,
A lot of crits.
A lot of crits.
viewers, how are you?
How's everyone doing tonight?
Everyone doing all right?
Yeah, let's get some interaction in here.
Everyone vibing?
Hope you guys are good.
Let us know what you think of the episode so far.
We didn't expect to be left without a DM. You can tell.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, someone else is gone as well.
No, it
No,
was just
it was just
Ferret.
him. Okay, I was counting wrong. I'm very smart. Forgive me.
It's just Nat's not
Oh,
here.
guys,
remember?
did you like the antler thing?
That is
Yes.
interesting.
It's cool, right?
Oh,
It's got a little bit of everything. It's like Chinese finger trap. Its horn is a feather. It's
Yeah,
got a lot going on.
exactly. It's perfect for Ash.
Is there any way we can post that in the Twitch chat?
I don't think so. For the lawless land of the DMless. I found on Pinterest an antler carving of it's kind of like a dragon's head carved out of an antler, and I figured that was just something that Ash would think was cool and would have.
There we go. We can do this. There you go. That's the link. That's the picture we're talking about.
Oh, you're so smart.
We have about What?
God, this is why we keep Matt around for the brain cells he provides.
Yeah, I'd
Hey,
say we have about like
this
what?
level, I am now only just catching up to Yareth. So
We have like 4 brain cells combined, and half of them are with Matt.
Oh, DM.
could that be an
Hello.
Australian? Yeah.
Yay, he's back.
So, the internet has crashed, but only for my computer. So I'm using my phone, which is probably why the audio sounds rubbish.
Yes, I was about to say, you sound a little bit lower quality.
Yeah. All right. I think it's safe to say that you killed the last fire horse, even if I can't see your rolls.
Let's find out. I was going to cast a chromatic orb at it. This time, he'd congeal the heat on the diamond until it's hot and sticky, and then launch it as acid damage.
Yeah, I think it's
No,
25.
Althea did not do that. Althea does not launch a chromatic orb, but that definitely hits, and it deals 17 damage. So
Yeah, the horse
Yeah,
is
it's
dead.
definitely dead.
that was a really good roll for it.
All right, my internet seems to be back, so I'm just going to quickly transfer back to good Mike.
Change places.
Change places.
That was a good fight. That was a lot of crits.
Hello. All right. Okay.
Very good fight.
Phoenix, seeing that the horse is kind of on its last legs, would kind of almost absently just toss this chromatic orb in its direction and start striding over to Mazoth.
All right.
Oh yeah,
So,
as soon as the horse is dead, Fleet's sprinting at this Mazoth motherfucker.
well,
yeah, Ash
all
is
right.
doing
All right.
the
Right.
same.
I think hold off on that for now.
That was just because I could use his movement at the end of my turn.
Lucky bastard.
So,
Having moved
as
past.
the smoke literally clears, and normality or relative normality seems to resume in this tent, I think we will call the session there. Yeah. So,
God, that was cool.
That was a good session.
God, I love Urashi.
Ferret, before
You started
any
to
of us-
scale into your barbarian things.
before
any of us forget, it was 4 of the little squishy dudes and 2 of the horses that died within 30 feet of me.
cool. Okay.
Oh,
Each of the
no.
horses was 2, and each of the squishy dudes was a quarter of a point. So you'll see kind of the tendril of black smoke kind of coming from their corpses into your belt buckle before kind of running taut, and then kind of quickly being sucked in. And again, you hear the satisfied little burp in the back of your mind.
That's 7. That's 7 points.
Oh. I don't like the way you said that. It's threatening.
I don't know what it does.
It powers up his item.
So yes, I'd like to extend my thanks to Nat for letting me pilot his character tonight. Hopefully I did Althea justice, although that's for him to judge.
Well, yes, hope you very much enjoyed. Yeah, so we will start off with inspiration. So for those of you who don't know, inspiration is a little way I like to reward players who had particularly good RP or something else during the session. And so I think if you use one today, so basically when you roll a dice, you can say, I don't like the result, I'm going to re-roll it. So it's slightly different to the PHP inspirations, more like luck points. So, Britty.
Well, I had a
You've
good
gone
amount of
good.
time to think about this, and as much as I've loved Ash's random crits and ridiculous combat and great session at Boblins, I have to give it to Phoenix for overall through the campaign. The spell flavor has been fucking brilliant, and I've loved your RP interactions with all of the characters. You get a fucking double thumbs up from me, bud. That's fantastic.
All right, point to Phoenix. Urashi.
It goes to the DM today.
Yeah.
I fucking braces, man. Also, you made a really bad joke earlier, and I forgot what it was, but it was worth it. So yeah.
I made a really bad joke. That sounds like me.
Yeah, I know. Shocking.
Matt.
Yeah, I think I got to give it to a Urashi. Just so rarely here to actually give the inspirations to.
Oh, wow, rude. I only missed like 2 sessions. Maybe 3.
but no,
I don't know.
The crits were fun, so yeah, tossing that your way.
Thank you.
And Riley.
I'm also on the Urashi train. Seeing Urashi Dem in action with the person that was meant to be playing her was really fun. and
Thanks.
all of those fucking crits.
That's just
Why?
sick. We've had
Why does
so
this
many
feel
crits
like
then.
it's like a
I want to
backhanded
go back
compliment?
and just see how many natural 20s you rolled tonight. That was
I think it
stupid.
was like 4 or 5. It
We
was
should
ridiculous.
post it on Twitter.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, play inspiration goes to Lumie tonight. We'll wait a minute for the chat to catch up.
And for the look of it, both of them do.
Yeah, it looks like Lumie gets 2 tonight.
Cool. I mean, that's fair enough. That can happen. You can't go above 3, but you can definitely get 2.
Oh, that gets me to my max.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
Thanks,
so,
everyone. I'm glad you like seeing me hit things. It's
Yeah.
kind of all I do.
So, a few things to plug. Obviously, we just mentioned our Twitter. Go follow us on Twitter at rolling_with_it for updates and stuff like when we're about to go live, and maybe stuff like how many crits are actually going to roll, stuff like that. Obviously, you've missed some of the episode, or you want to look back at old episodes. We have a YouTube where VODs will. I'm slowly catching on the backlog. This week we've had the recap for episode 4 and episode 5 gone up. And I'm hoping to get a few more done for next week. As always, any feedback is highly appreciated. If you don't know what to change to the stream or about me and my DMing, unless I get feedback. If I don't know what's wrong, I can't fix it. So any feedback is always
More
appreciated.
bullshit magic items, please.
I can only give you so many. Obviously, please share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your grandma. It's got to be a grandma out there like likes D&D. We have a second stream now on Saturdays at 8 o'clock. It will be some of us, and we'll kind of be talking about. Generally, we'll be talking about the stream. However, this week we talked about Tasha's because why couldn't we? We couldn't not talk about Tasha's. But yes, feel free to check that out. Thank you all very much for watching. See you next time.
See you
Bye.
later.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.